Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers Live on Thanksgiving. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's exciting to be here today for everybody, but there were people here early today. That's really something. Kim, you were first at 27 minutes early. That's awesome. That is awesome. How's everybody doing today on Thanksgiving? Man, it's good to see everybody. Bill, thank you for coming in. Monica, hello. And let's see, Alberto, Thanksgiving for you. Mike, thanks for coming in today on Thanksgiving. For people that don't know, I have another screen down here that I look at the comments on. Chris has a nomination. That's awesome. U-Haul, hey, well, good to see you out there today. Mark, Wild Bill, yes, you said you would be here. That's good. Richard, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And so we're cruising here on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great day here today. Sunny and no problems with the weather. There, the Loves last night was pretty full. So I was surprised about that. That there were so many people at the truck stop still. So, let's see. Dan, thank you for coming in. Kenneth, KAW, happy Thanksgiving. Cam, what's happening today? Man, say what is here. That's good. Joshua came in. Turkey sandwiches. Kenneth is bringing turkey sandwiches for everybody. That's great news. Chad is here. Roger Penske. Man, you'd think you would have a lot of media things to do today. Thank you for coming in. Michael, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm just a driver out here doing, I don't know about phenomenal. I'll take it, though. Amber, what's happening today? Let's see. Oh, you're working today, Kim. Nice. Light bright. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for that. Tony, yes. Where are you at today, Kim? Anyway, what's going on? Hakeem, hey, what's happening out there? What's going on Thanksgiving? What is everybody doing? Is everybody at home? Everybody working? What's happening? I didn't know if anybody would be here, if it would just be me. So, although everybody said they would be here on the survey, so that was good. Amber, hey, it's going good here today. Thanksgiving, love it. Off today and tomorrow here with the 2 paid holidays. Crypto futures, nice. What's happening? Peterbilt 379. What's going on down there today? Probably warm for you. Donovan is here. Raman is here. Oh, from Canada. Happy Thursday to you in Canada. Thanks for coming in, Randall. Thank you for being here. Marty's here. All the truck stops are full of bobtails. The Loves last night was about 3/4 full, and I was surprised about that. I thought there'd be more people at home. So, Utah going to Minnesota. Wow, that's a good run. Trucking Wife, thanks for coming in today. Man, Monica's working today. Brandon, man, everybody's at work today. I thought companies always tout, oh, I'm going to get you home. What happened to all that, You parked for the day at a casino eating the buffet. Hopefully, is the buffet free there? Probably not. Cam's sick. That's not good. At least you don't have to work, probably. Should get the day off. Robert, thanks for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Sea Hill made it home today. That's good for the weekend, let's hope. Diesel Trucker, Thanksgiving. Man, what a crowd today. What is going on? Kenneth, you can only reason you enjoy Thanksgiving us because your company couldn't get you home. Sometimes companies mess it up. Yeah, sometimes. Look, they try to get you home. I've seen some of them where they promise to absolutely get you home or they'll fly you home, but I don't see that very often. Say what? Massachusetts to Kentucky. That's good. That's the way to go for Massachusetts, anywhere out of the state. That's for sure. Cam's in Panama City Beach, nice. You have to throw that out there, throw that in all of our faces. Although it's going to be in the 40s today, and it is sunny today, that's for sure. Michael cruising along, that's good. Cardinal Logistics, 38 cents and $8.25 for a drop. That's not the best, that's for sure. I think that's another kind of place, though. People ask me a lot about logistics places. Like, I've seen Penske Logistics asked and Black Horse Carriers a lot. They do different things in each city, so it's tough to say whether they're any good. You call up at one city, it's $21 an hour. Another city, it's $800 a week. So the logistics is kind of city by city. You have to kind of call them in your city and see what they're doing where you are. Mario, I did a good job on Celadon. Thanks. I appreciate that. I try to look into stuff. Had to work today, but you'll be home tomorrow. Well, that's good. At least you're going to get home for at least part of a long weekend. Thanks for coming in. Let's see. The whole Northeast is terrible, Kenneth. Yes. You know, and a lot of places pay extra. I've seen, they call it red pay or band pay and stuff because they know it's terrible to have to go there. Tom's 27. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Why do truckers linger in the left lane when driving in the South? They do that everywhere, not just in the South, for sure. What am I doing today? I am doing a live show today. That's for sure. We are here live. People want me to come in live. I'm here live to help people maybe that are off. Maybe if your family has questions about trucking, if you're looking into trucking, let's get them on here and see what they have to say. You're headed to Massachusetts. Well, you can reverse with our other driver here. Sweep the trailer out with a leaf blower. I've seen people bring the battery-operated leaf blowers and blow their trailers out, and then they can charge the battery while they're driving. Love it. California to Tennessee, that's a nice load, too. That's nice. All the scales, good thing scales should be closed today. Don't forget about that. You made it home, your last day, and you're going to start with one of the recommended companies. Okay, I hope it works out. Please let us know. Let me know how it works out, of course. Mark at truckinganswersnation.com. Please let me know how it works out. I'm very nervous always doing those companies because you just never know until you get there, right? Isn't Celadon suffering the same fate as Arrow? I hope not. There were drivers stuck all over the country when Arrow went belly up because of all the shenanigans that they were doing over there. So let's hope not, for sure. Bed bugger for Atlas. Yikes. At least you're getting paid. What's my take on buying permits as needed basis as to using an IFTA? I think that, if you're going to go in a state regularly, just, plate the thing for the whole country. It takes forever, right? It's only like if it's once in a while. That's what I think. Otherwise, just go ahead and, be permitted for wherever you're going. Have I heard of Wolfpack Transport? People have written about it. That's all I know about it. You're working and driving through Mississippi on the way home. Extra $100 holiday. Good. If you work on the holiday, they should pay you extra, in effect, time and a half, what an hourly person would get. They should give you extra for working on it. Come on. You heard Honey Wagon service stinks but pays good. I wish they would come out and service ours at the lot there. It fell over and now it has a big crack in it. So, that's no good. What do I think about Cowan Systems, thinking about going over there? I don't know anything about them. Are there other roads in the United States that are more intimidating? Wolf Creek Pass or 160 in Colorado. That's person by person, right? So some people probably go down it every day and don't think anything about it, go on these roads. And some people think it's the worst place ever. Those worst roads, it's person by person. Yeah, bed bugger for Atlas. Oh, you're paid by the hour, overtime pay and home every day. That's pretty good. You do some physical work, but at least you're getting paid for all your time, and that's the whole goal, is to get everybody paid. So all your time is paid, and that's what matters. You loved my shirt on Instagram yesterday. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. People that don't know, I'm on Instagram also, Twitter, Facebook. Come on over there, follow me in all these other places. Do all kinds of stuff everywhere. I look like the type that would tear into a turkey drumstick. Yes, nothing done here yet, so we'd have to wait a while for that. Recalls on romaine lettuce, right? And Jenny O, yes. There's been a lot of recalls this week. You'll have to look them all up. Basically, wherever you go, don't eat anything, and just saltine crackers. Basically, everything else has been recalled this week, for sure. More truckers need a CB. Every driver should have a CB in their truck with it on all the time. Penske Logistics is a good company with excellent benefits. Says Papa Rob Trucker. Yes, it depends. All these logistics companies depend. Every city they're doing different. They may do 5 things in one city. So it depends what they're doing. You have to kind of call them and say, here's where I am. What do you have available? Because some are hourly, some I see are salary, some are mileage. And they all do different things. But certainly it can be a good place because a lot of them are home. Would I recommend Wiley Sanders? I don't know. Thoughts on System Transport. They're the ones out of the West, right? They're running a lot of ads for guaranteed pay, which I do like a guaranteed pay. Has anyone gotten a ticket for being on a no truck road? Not me, but I'm sure other people have. That's what you've been saying for holidays should pay mileage and a half. Yeah, you should get something for if you're going to be out on a holiday. It should be a significant amount of money. Mileage and a half is not a bad idea. So some people would get 70, 80 cents a mile or more. Omar, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody that's out here. I'm glad everybody's here today. Thanks for coming in, really. I really appreciate it. I thought I might just be talking to myself. Gundy, West Virginia. It should be good. By the way, the weather looks like it's good in most of the country today. I'm surprised. You thought Penske leased trucks. Penske leases trucks, but they have a logistics side where they do transportation, just like every other trucking company, usually for one company per account. And so you have to call them in each city because each one pays differently and they do different things. Brian, go home. Yeah, everybody should head home if you want to. If you want to be out, they should run you over the holiday, though, if they're going to keep you out. Here's a load that picks up Monday, so you get no layover. We don't want any of that. Are there any deals on trucks on Black Friday? Oh, yeah, let's call Freightliner and see if we can get a deal on a truck. 20,000 off. Or for you, right, we'll get a Western Star deal. Am I familiar with Strongbow's Turkey Inn in Valparaiso? No. What's going on? Are you up there today? Black Friday, yeah, Amber. Let's get some Black Friday sales at Western Star dealer. More drivers need 2-meter radios. They'll have to go get licensed to get their 2-meter radio, correct? Right, because I'm a ham and have been for many years licensed ham radio operator. Drivers would have to go take the test, and I don't see drivers doing that. Bite of Italian turkey. Wow, what is Italian turkey? Is it different, Timothy, over there? And plus, your Thanksgiving's almost over, right? AD Transport Workforce is one of the best companies. All right? Let us know, why is that a good company? You say that, what do you think? Let everybody know what's so good about it, so we can all know. Christmas and New Year are going to screw up your schedule. How come? Why is Christmas going to screw up your schedule? Should we go live on Christmas too? What do you think? The best story from Trooper Raid? Yes, people can put their stories if they want to. Double miles for the holidays? Nice. That's nice. Your Star car broke again. What is a Star car? A Western Star? But the truck didn't break. The engine, which is made by somebody else, broke, right? Paul's working today. That's good. Cam, there's a license for you. Somebody took the test. Nice. Just technician here, though. That's all I needed. You're here. Crete is good. Crete is better than a lot of the mega carriers for sure. All right, KW. Right, we'll consider that. Yes, if people will be there. An Italian turkey has two in the back of its neck. Has two what in the back of its neck? I'm afraid to know about that. We heard. Yeah, oh, really, Randall? That's funny. They heard you all the way back here. Now she's not talking to me. All right. Somebody else, Amber, says they heard you say no when you went live. They all heard you back here. Come on. If you're going to talk, come on out here live. You're in LA going down to Long Beach or Manhattan Beach? Not in a truck, right? Oh, good. Marco got that job. Excellent. Keep us updated on how it's going, for sure. Love is Good has trucks on sale. So there are really Black Friday truck sales today. Here's your chance to become an owner-operator at a discount. What's the most miles driven today on the ELD, of course? You drove 641. Nice. That's a good day. Mississippi to Illinois and come back to Michigan so I could be here with my family. All that's legal, right? Because that's what we're doing here is legal for sure. You don't see TMC running long nose Pete's? Yeah, I still see them out there for them. They have some of their long trucks running still. They are trying to catch. They are trying to catch a little fuel mileage though over there. I guess the better fuel mileage, you still have to make your bed though, which has always been the most annoying part of the place. When I heard that, I thought that is about ridiculous. When you come in and get your bed inspected, I don't understand it. You work for U.S. Express, and and mad that you gave. Well, I'm sorry. We got to call it like we see it. When you get hours and hours without being paid, I got to call it like I see it. I will tell you, a lot of people that work there that are on dedicated runs seem to enjoy it. But the regular over the road, I don't think people should have to sit around without being paid. So that's my problem with US Express. Sorry. When they start paying people better, I'll do a new video. If they want to pay people for their time. But to ask people to sit for hours without being paid, that's crap. And so that's why it was put out there. So have I heard of Logicorp? No, I'm out of McAllen. There's a lot of, there's thousands of companies, right? Have you ever heard, I got one, better not miss the T680. Extended warranty under 60,000. Where's all that? Post where that is, right? He has a big electronic eraser, right? Smith Transport has some new 389s. I don't understand, companies buying a truck that's not fuel efficient, really. Because, then they will say, well, we can't give you a raise, we don't make as much money. Yeah, well, go out and get better fuel mileage. When you're getting 6 miles to the gallon, it's tough to make money in a company or anywhere else, for sure. So you're on the Dollar General, that's the thing. And that's what I talked about, is that people that get on an account at these large companies, and not just U.S., but all of them, I hear from them and they're happy there. People that just stay over the road at large mega carriers don't seem to enjoy it or do as well. And so that's for sure. Mark, yeah. Well, look, the thing is, if they're not going to pay you, they're not going to be any kind of good company, for sure. When they ask you when you get $12.50 after, for 4 hours, that's your total pay. That isn't any good. And this is a company, don't forget US Express is a company that gripes about a driver shortage. And then they pay, after 2 days, you get $50 of sitting. And they have a driver shortage? Yeah, they have a driver shortage. Just because of that, right. It was all legal. The Crow is 641. Yeah, good. You're running hard? Absolutely. But look, so absolutely, you can make money. 641 miles on an ELD, so there's still money to be made. People always write to me, oh, I can only do 300 miles. No, you can do a full day's work, for sure. You can get it with a below average credit score. Yeah, they want to get rid of trucks, sure. Is there a Peterbilt that is fuel efficient? Yeah, the slope nose ones that look like a Freightliner. Tennessee new salesman just stopped over the road 5 weeks ago. Nice. I apologize for life is good on YouTube. That's really good. Millis gave 3 cents across the board starting November 20th. So 1 year starts at 47 cents. That's really good. And they turned off their driver-facing cameras. I mean, no problem. That's good. Another raise. And is there going to be one in January too? You had talked about earlier that they may give a raise in January. Is the physical exam for people that work in the yard? No, I don't think they take a physical. I don't know how that would go. Huh. They do it to attract drivers because in the tough economy, drivers still want a long hood. They do, but that shouldn't be your criteria for going to work at a place. That, oh, I get a long-nose truck. I mean, the long-nose truck, as I've said before, that doesn't pay the bills. When I get an electric bill here, I can't call them and tell them, oh, well, I have a long-nose truck. They go, well, but you owe your bill. I go, but here's a picture of the truck that I drive at work. They don't pay me well, but I have a nice-looking truck. That's not really a great way to pick a company, for sure. Drivers do it. Look, I know they do it. They shouldn't. At all. You call them Peter Beaters. Nice. He quit and went to sales. That's good. Look, that's a person that should sell trucks. I mean, it knows how to drive the trucks. Even so. Millis, don't forget Millis will hire you unless you have 3 years of work experience. Yeah, I don't understand that. I just don't get it. Kaiser Trucking pays well and you get a long-nosed Pete. All right? So you got to have both. The pay is the primary thing. A decent truck and pay and, that's it. It doesn't matter that it's a long-nosed truck or whatever. Who cares, right? I mean, I'd rather be able to back it in, still. And plus, those Pete's, the driver's door's right there. You can reach over. It's right there. You just crank the window down. There's no room in it either compared to, a regular cab truck. I'm not a fan. I just am not a fan. Thanks, Cam. I appreciate it. Yeah. Diesel Trucker says 2 years experience there. January was a rumor. Okay, it turned out to be November, so they moved it up. That's even better. Yeah, because you were expecting a penny. Look, there still may be more raises coming. They have to do that to compete. I'd rather companies competed on pay than competed on trucks. You know, they should buy a $20,000 less truck and give that out as pay. That's what's more. That should be more important to a driver to have a good paycheck, right? Are cab overs making a comeback? I don't think so. They don't really sell them here, other than you can get a glider. I think you can get a Freightliner Argosy cab over glider kit, but there aren't any otherwise for sold. So no, I don't see any cab overs making a comeback. No. The most fuel-efficient truck is the one that never leaves the yard. Yeah, it doesn't use any fuel. A lot of companies have tons of those. That's why I was surprised at US that you had to get your truck back in 4 days. They have a ton of trucks sitting around. Why do they need to? Why do you need to give them your truck back? Take all your stuff out of your truck. Why? I think because that's so that you won't take a week off. Because then for sure you're not going to go anywhere if you're going to get rid of your truck. You run 665 miles every weekend with 8 minutes left. That's cutting it really close, right? Are you listening in the cook while you're cooking? Oh, awesome! What are we going to have over there? Angie, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Stamp prices are going to increase to 55 cents. Yeah, because they figure the best way to make more money is just raise the prices. You should always, of course, what do you mail out? What do we use, a book or two a year here really anymore? So there's really nothing to mail out like there used to be. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Todd. Thanks for coming in. I guess you can go home whenever you want over there, right? Because you choose where you're going. Okay, so anyway, Todd, are they going to have the live load board, do you know, at Mid-America Truck Show this year? Let's see. You see Roadway in yellow, still run Max, yeah, and other older trucks. They do have some older trucks there. They don't replace them as often. And they say, oh, well, you know, we're not going to replace them because the contract and all that. They're union companies. Timothy lost me. Yeah, you do have the connection issue over there. Plus, it's like 8 at night over there. So, you love the integral cab trucks. Yeah, the cab over flat floored were okay, right? The trucks today, great. Tons of room. Love them. Way better than it used to be, right? Okay, you just drive for BCO. Okay. I just wondered if you happen to know, because the last time I was at the truck show a few years ago, they had the Landstar load board live, and you could search through it and look everything around. I thought it was really fascinating to go through it, so I hope they do it again this year when we go down there. Would I recommend driving for UPS Freight, since I see where drivers stay there a long time? Yeah, they probably pay really good. UPS has, for people that don't know, they have a freight division where they go pick up freight and stuff. So I would say it's likely as good a pay as their other divisions. And that is a good indication that a company at least is doing something better, because if drivers stay, especially in this market, it's probably an okay place, because it's so easy today for an experienced driver with a halfway decent record to go get another job. So if drivers are staying, then that actually shows something good about the company for sure. Did I know UPS has a restored cab over Mac? Where's all that going on? And they're not using it to do anything, are they? They have it on the app on your phone to get live loads. Yes, they didn't then, last time I looked, but I'm sure they do now, where you can just look on your phone, for sure. You use the DAT load board, but brokers are starting their own load boards. Each broker's going to have their own load board, so they'll just repost loads from other brokers, and it'll go through 9 people before it gets down to the driver, and each person's going to take their cut of it. That's a shame. You're a local driver and make $28 an hour. Wow. Do you think that's a good job? Quit your job and get on your MC. Your own authority. $28 an hour is pretty good. I mean, authority is a personal thing. You know, do you want to go out there and risk it? Because now you have a regular pay. You can make more, or you could go broke. Now you don't have that option. Happy Thanksgiving, comfortable man. Thanks for popping in today. You have Walmart as custom built trucks for the drivers. They'll let the driver choose whatever he wants. That's interesting. I never heard that from Walmart. That'd be very unusual for a company to do that. Western Distribution, that company that doesn't pay much but has the nice trucks, they allow their drivers to choose some of the options in the truck, and they say between 8 and 25 options. I don't know which ones they are. But if you've been there for a while, you get to choose the options when you get a different truck, which I think is interesting. I don't know about having a driver pick their entire truck out. I don't think that's a good plan. Because what if he quits or something? Then you got this weird, 100-mile-an-hour spec'd out truck. They have, if anything, they would do it within certain limits. There's going to be certain limits on it for sure. Cab overs have their place, such as pulling an overlinked load. Yeah, they do. They give you some room. It wouldn't be bad to use them on these overlinks. I don't see any out there, though, being used, even on overlinked loads, right? How many cab overs do you see? 1 or 2 a month? Maybe. Fast Joe, thanks a lot. I appreciate that today. Thank you today. How many years do you have to drive before you reach 4 million miles? Well, it's usually around 1 million per 8 years on the road. It varies a little bit, depends how many miles you get. So you're at 30 to 35 years, something like that. Let's see. So you have a friend who used to drive for Western who says it's a good company, but he's the kind of guy who only drives a long nose. That's the thing. They have all these long Petes and these W900s and stuff. And so they're trying to get people based on the truck rather than based on pay. And it seems to work. It seems to work because they haven't really raised their pay in this industry. What do I think about Covenant? Well, I did, Star, which is part of Covenant. Not a fan. Star is a division of Covenant. It's another one of these mega carriers. Not a great fan of that. 144,000 miles at 3,000 a week in a year. Yeah, if you work every week or whatever, absolutely get 3,000. I mean, 8 years is per million is just a rule of thumb about, each person it varies a little bit. What do I think of big hiring events with multiple mega carriers? Well, that's what MATS is, Mid-America. There's going to be a room down there full of recruiters, and you get to go table to table and talk to each one of them, for sure. Hyundai is talking about selling cab overs. No way. I cannot wait to see that. They don't make like a Class 8 truck overseas because they don't really use them. I'd really love to see it. The Cascadia is basically a cab over? I don't know about that. Come on now. Thanks, Amber. Thanks for coming in. And, of course, we'll see you on Monday, hopefully. Covenant is owned by U.S. Express. Who says that? Covenant, Star, all the SRT, there's one group right there. Thanks, Cam. You're going back to bed. All right, well, enjoy the holiday, and we'll see you on Monday. At Milton, drivers get to spec out a truck after many years. Yeah, I don't know how much of it you get to choose. I mean, can you choose the engine? They're not going to let you choose the rear end and stuff like that, or at least I wouldn't. As an owner of the company, I'd still want it to be fuel efficient. I'd probably let you pick out all the stuff inside the truck, but I'm still going to spec it out for fuel because that's the biggest cost. But they should. Here's the thing: that letting drivers spec out these trucks. Why don't they just have the trucks have nice inside anyway? Why do they have to have some crap fleet trucks and then, once you've been here, we'll give you a nicer truck inside? How about making them all nice inside? How about that? You're glad I'm not wearing a turkey hat. I looked for a turkey hat. Well, Bill, I just couldn't find one. So I couldn't find a hat to wear. I was going to have one. Believe me, I was not able to get one. You believe the last cab over was the Argosy? Yes. And you can still get Argosy glider kits. So you can still buy it as a glider. Believe it or not. U.S. Express says that they own Covenant. They're not listed anywhere on either site that their buddies or owners or anything. I'd have to look into that. I had no idea about that. They don't post it or anything anywhere. So Cascadia is a doghouse. Wide cab, and you practically sit on top of the steer axle. All right, I'll give you that. But I like mine. I will tell you that. Walter, spec them out on the inside. Yes, let's let you upgrade the inside, but the engine and rear end and that, no. I might let you get a 13-speed, something like that. Pet stores have hats. People hats? I can't wear one for a cat. That would look kind of foolish. More than I already do, probably. Oh, the dollar store? Oh, I didn't think about going to the dollar store. All right, I will check that Hyundai out. Is it going to be, is that a full Class 8? And this Hyundai run the whole powertrain too? Are they making, 12 or 15 liter engines too? That's really something. Would I recommend Knight? I haven't really looked into Knight, but, they're going to be their Knight and Swift. I mean, I will tell you this. They're better than a lot of these places that I look into. But they have a really long payback on the truck school. So I don't know about that kind of thing. Bold like your Cascadia. Yeah, isn't it great? US Express started Covenant many years ago. When? Really? They don't have that indicated anywhere. And I've never heard that. Once for large dogs would work for you. Yeah, a really big dog. Where's the Great Dane section? The dollar store had them. Dang it, I missed out on it. U.S. is owned by Mark Fuller and Covenant is owned by his brother. Oh. Oh, so they're the family kind of deal. Thanks, Walter. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in today. Walmart drivers are quitting and going to the welfare office. Why are Walmart drivers quitting and going to welfare office? They actually get paid pretty well. They're advertising around here 83,000 or something. That's what the ad says in Gas City, Indiana. And you can live within 250 miles of the place. Although I don't know if I want a 500-mile round-trip commute to work each week. They also push lease purchase. Yes, a lot of these companies try to get you into a lease because that way you can rent their truck from them. And then eventually when you quit, they get their truck back and you paid for it. That's awesome. You were at a career fair, and the difference was that he had the studio sleeper and had proper storage. Joshua says, okay. KA says, why are so many companies using Volvo trucks now? Volvo should stick with cars, terrible trucks. I've driven them. I think they ride really good. They're quiet. Everything seems to be set up good. What is your issue with Volvos? I like them. You drive for Swift, and so far you're liking it. You're getting your own truck in about a week and a half. Okay, so don't lease a truck, certainly. Did you go through their school, and what do you think about the longer payback? And really, what are they going to give you a mile? Have they said? I think it's in the high 30s, right? Yeah, Walter, he likes his Volvo too. I agree, right. Can Walmart drivers bring their trucks home? No, because it's used when you're not there. When you're off, the truck gets used. Other people have talked about that on YouTube, that when you aren't there, the truck gets used by other drivers. Walmart drivers 10-minute limit. It says in their ad here 250 miles you can live. So you drive a Volvo and no power, so you have the Volvo engine in yours, and the smaller D12 or whatever it is in yours. That's probably the problem. Meyer Gold in the purple package, yummies. Yeah, what the heck? I think a little too quiet, but all trucks are quiet. They should be quiet. You don't want to sit in that truck hour after hour after hour with the drone of the engine. You want it quiet in there. It sounds great when it drives by you, these gigantic stacks, but otherwise not worth it. No way. Kind of like renting a house, paying for someone else's house. Yeah, except that when you lose your job, you give them their truck back. Or like Arrow. If we remember the Arrow, when that place went under, a lot of lease drivers lost their trucks. They had their trucks repossessed because they found out in the bankruptcy, the truck is an asset of the company, not an asset of you. And so when the company went under, the trucks went back to the court, took the trucks and sold them. So you either had to buy it outright right then at the court's price, or that's it, because the contract is over in the bankruptcy. It's a risk. Leasing is a risk. If nothing else, buy the truck yourself at a dealer and then put it on at the company. Then you own the asset. You control it. If something happens to the company, you leave with the truck that you've put the money in. These drivers lost all the money they'd put into the truck, and that's a serious problem. Because if they couldn't finance that truck, that was it. That truck went back. I'm not going to do a lease. Good. Not enough paying it for your opinion. Or you didn't use their school, so you don't have to worry about the payback. So they should at least reimburse you if you had to pay for school. There is, I think, a reimbursement there. Peterbilt and Kenworth, the only truck to use for heavy haul. Doesn't matter what kind of truck, right? As long as we power that thing up, right, and we gear it up, doesn't matter what the shell is on the outside of it. The Hyundai is a Class 8 with a 10-liter engine. Is that a Hyundai engine? That's interesting. That's not a lot of. That's not a big engine. 10 liters. That's not huge. Kenworth is quieter than Peterbilt. The Peets don't have as much insulation in the firewall. These long-nosed Peets that everybody likes, there's no room in the truck. Do we want a roomy truck? Come on, folks. You can't, if you can reach over and, I was going to say crank, but I guess you just push a button now, but you can touch the door on the other side. That's no good. Eric Fuller's the CEO of U Express, and David Parker's the owner of Covenant. Are they not related? We've just heard that they're related. Are these guys not brothers with each other? Swift does pay you back. Okay, they start paying you back. Good. I thought they had some kind of reimbursement. And from what everybody's told me from all of these companies, you'll do better on a dedicated account. That's just what everybody at a mega carrier has said, that they're much happier when they get on a regular account. I'd recommend you consider doing that over time, certainly. Do I remember Consolidated Freightways? Sure. CF? Absolutely. One day they did the same thing. They closed up shop. They were all over the country. Then they just hung a sign up and they closed. And drivers came in and they were fired. And then over the next couple of weeks, some of the people came back and delivered the freight, and that was the end of them. Just like that. That's why you should, although most of those drivers were home. But at Arrow, the drivers were stuck all around the country. That's why I encourage people to always have a few $100 on them, or at least access to it, so you can get home if something happens. Get a Mack Gold fuel mod. All right. I think we can get good fuel mods in every truck that we set up correctly. What do I think of the Detroit Series 60? Loved them. 12.7 Series 60. Great engine, great mileage, good power. Doesn't it depend on the sleeper? I know some of the Peets come with coffin sleepers. Yeah, that's even worse. But the cab itself on long-nosed Peets is just not that big. And so if you have all your stuff for weeks at a time, there's just not a lot of room in it, right? They mix up their holdings with both companies. And you know both of them? That's crazy. I had no idea. They certainly don't publicize that anywhere, right? The coffin sleepers are horrible, right? Detroit's get good fuel mods. The old Detroit still haven't beat this current one that where I'm in the high 8s. But excellent for the time, for sure. Who do I drive for? All right, I always get this question every week. I've been waiting for that today. I don't talk about where I drive. That way, that leaves my company out of the videos. They don't get to say, oh, well, you mentioned us, and so now we don't want you talking bad about this place or whatever. So I don't talk about where I drive or who I drive for, but unlike most of the people on YouTube, I also don't recruit for them. So I don't get a recruiting bonus for them or any company, right? I don't take any money from trucking companies, and I don't recruit for my company. So then I can say basically whatever I want. So I do leave them out of it. I've been there over 16 years, though, at one company, and so that should say that it's probably a pretty good place to work. But I leave them, otherwise, I leave them out of it. And then they got nothing to say. What do I think TriMac gives drivers hours? Hourly pay seems real good, but how many hours can you expect? I would talk to other drivers at the account you want. TriMac, which I did a short time ago, a video about them, they do stuff all over North America. So call them in your area, go find some drivers and see what kind of hours are they getting. So are you getting full-time? I got to imagine that you're going to get full-time for sure. Covenant and US are owned by two brothers. That's why there's two companies that hate each other. Hopefully today they're together anyway. Anything about Minstar? Never heard of them. Arnold, right? You believe CF started at Freightliner back in the 40s? Yes, long ago, exactly. FMCSA doesn't specify a time or hour limit on PC after you are off work. There is no time or hour limit on personal conveyance. That is correct. It's all they care is what are you doing, not how long you're doing it on personal conveyance. DEF caused a lot of mechanical problems. It depends on the truck. We've had some trucks that have been a nightmare with the DEF on these new Cascadias that we got. And then some of them, like I haven't really had any problems with it. But a couple of them have been in the shop they've had the whole system replaced a couple of times. I don't know why that is. Because the trucks have like almost consecutive numbers. Like they came off the line, you know, like we bought 10 at one time and they just like, we'll take the next 10 trucks kind of thing. So maybe some were Thursday and then the rest of them got done on Friday afternoon. I don't know. So you know both of these guys and they mixed their holdings between U.S. and Covenant. I had no idea. You wouldn't drive for either and both of them are crooks. Nice. Okay, so good morning, Oscar. If you drive the truck from your house to the job site to start the trip, can I record that as personal conveyance? If that's where your work location is. So then you're saying you're using the truck as a commuter. You're allowed to commute. You're allowed to commute from your home, right, to a work location. But you can't go from like a job, like you empty out. What they were talking about at work location before is you take a load and you are empty at company X. And then instead of going home, you bring the truck back to the yard and then go home. Well, the time from the where you got empty back to the work location is considered driving time. But here we're going from home to the work location. You're commuting, so that should be personal conveyance. If your company allows personal conveyance. Like I can't, but some places allow it. Some have a limit also. So check with your company. As long as they allow it, it is. Do I know Carolina Freight has saved Mack trucks from bankruptcy? I didn't know that. Cause of labor cost is Carolina Cargo. Nice. You watch smarttrucking.com, right? And Dave said Peterbilt and Kenworth are the best trucks for OTR. That's a personal thing, right? And that guy, right, driving that truck with all the switches in it or whatever, he probably likes that, right? I'd rather I got a better paycheck and had my Cascadia. You know, and my truck's quieter. There's more room in it. You know, I'm totally in for all that. It doesn't matter, that I don't have a long nose. I don't care. When I'm filling up, who cares? Anyone know about CT transfer tape? I don't know anything about that, so let's see. I remember back when you used to see Schneider, Freightliner, Sentries. Yeah, right. You still see some of them coming out of Chicago. You can tell they used to be Schneider trucks pulling containers. Right, love it. Can you fuel on personal conveyance? No. Anything you do on or about the truck, anything to the truck is on duty time. I wonder if I have no pancakes on board, am I considered empty and not under a load the whole way to California? As long as you have no breakfast products at all, you can personal conveyance for sure. Arrow was bankrupt. They had no insurance. Yes, they totally left everybody stranded. People that don't remember it, one day, everybody's fuel card just stopped working, and drivers were stranded literally all around the country. It was terrible. And there were people that couldn't get home. So that's why I encourage everybody to always have access to a couple of $100 at least. So you can at least get yourself home on the crack count, if nothing else, at least. Because you don't want to be stranded out there. They were all over the place. You have a friend who works at Trimac and makes 17 plus 10%. Like 25 an hours, no overtime, straight time. He averages 1,000. Is he home every day? And I mean, if he doesn't like it, he should certainly leave there. Most Kenworths are good when you're going on a straight stretch. Yeah, they're all right. I mean, they're okay. But, you know, I'd rather have more pay than, you know, that's the least of my problems at a company is what kind of truck they have, as long as the trucks are newer and in good condition. You have a friend who works at, okay, I parked the truck, same spot next morning. The e-log shows different. What if I get a ticket for that? That's a problem, right? But you have an e-log problem. So if the truck doesn't move, it shouldn't have moved the truck. So you need to fix the system, right? Because it's just GPS based. So there's no reason why it should move the truck. I think you have a problem with the system in the truck. So what if you get a ticket? Just show them that it hasn't run. You know, tell them that you got a problem. I don't know. I mean, I would have it looked at. It shouldn't move your truck if you haven't moved. Do I drive a 2018? Yes. I have the new bodied Cascadia with the LED lights. I love it. If you have a bad driver and just plows over potholes, the system will start leaking air into the DPF. Oh, well, you can almost not help hitting potholes. The DPF system in DEF is a lot about how the driver treats it. Well, I mean, you can't determine the roads, I guess. And you know, the truck that has the problem goes down up and down I-65. That's interesting. that he's on a different, goes a different place. That's an interesting way to look at it. I never thought about it like that. David Barker's his stepbrother. Oh, so stepbrothers, Covenant and U.S. Express are related there. But are the companies, how intertwined are the companies? Is that why neither of them pays that well, really? Is the high fuel cost as bad as it was in the early 2000s? No. No, I saw over $5 on signs before. So the cost is way less now. Last night it was $3.34 where I filled up. You drive for Hub Group at 25 plus overtime. That's excellent. But Hub, also, they hire out of here too. So I think that's city by city also, right? They hire Indianapolis and Chicago because they're running ads. But I'm not sure if 25 is nationwide. But that's excellent pay. You don't see Conway Truckload. Yeah, no doubt. They're gone. Hub drivers with Walmart account ride the clock. Well, if you're on the clock, you should work. You should do your job. I mean, you shouldn't run slow to get more money. You're stealing. That's no better than them stealing from you, right? You should do your job efficiently. We can't steal from them if we don't want them to steal from us. That isn't right to do at any hourly job. It doesn't matter if it's there or anywhere else. Back in the old days, trailers had that black smoke stains. Yes. Yeah, you still get that when you have a problem with your truck. You get a dot up there depending on your exhaust. My exhaust comes out underneath, so I guess I would never have that problem. Companies do compete. Yeah, those two, U.S. Covenant, they are competitors. Problem with newer trucks is they have the computers, so you can really do work on the engines yourself. Yeah, if you want to work on it yourself, I guess. Doesn't Hub Group run Freightliner Classic XLs? Wow. Where'd they break that thing out from? Trimac advertised $27 an hour in your area. Yeah, I think it's different, right. You'd need to talk to a driver. I totally agree. Each place, that's one of those places that has a bunch of local operations, and so each one probably pays different. What other YouTube truckers do I watch? Just the general ones that come up in the feed. I don't want to throw anybody out there in case somebody gets hurt that I don't watch them, like anybody cares or whatever. Just whatever comes up there, I don't have a ton of time to watch them, so if there's something out there that looks interesting, I'll pop it on, and you should too. U.S. and Covenant used to mix their drivers with their companies. Both usually drive in the same account, so they're mixed between one another. So they kind of share, but the way Step Brothers do that, they fight, and then they share a little bit, and then they fight a little bit, and then they'll go back and share, is what you're saying. I mean, Covenant does a lot of teaming, where, U.S., so they're taking like the team part of it, and then the U.S. part could take the more solo part, although they also run some teams. Covenant does a lot more teams. And how come U.S. didn't get any other subsidiaries the way, Covenant has Star and all those other companies, and SRT? That's interesting, though. You see a 379 Pete pulling XPO Logistics. Wow, they must be an owner. I don't think XPO's running long-nosed Pete's for sure. You're a trucker, not a mechanic. Right. If it doesn't work, I'm playing over and getting it worked on by somebody that gets paid. I totally agree, right? Waste your time. Have somebody else fix it, and you can do other things. So, I'm not the kind of let's get out there and fix my own truck. Although I know a lot of people like to do that. It's not for me. Hub Group uses Freightliners in Georgia. All right. The brothers each have holdings within each other's companies. Money goes back and forth between the scenes. I mean, that almost sounds, skirting the edge of the law, really. I don't know off the top of my head if either of those companies are public. But if they were public, we could find that out. I would have to look up, maybe somebody knows. Are either of those a publicly traded company? Do they have stock, or are they both privately held companies? What do you think that steering wheel holder stuff on the truck, like radars and such that slow your truck down? It's a substitute for poor training. Yeah, the trucks come with that radar. Mine has it. I have the lane keeper and all that in there. I don't mind it giving me information. I don't like that it interferes with the operation of the truck. It shouldn't ever hit your brakes, which it does a lot, for road signs. And that's dangerous in the wintertime because you can... it hits your brakes in the wintertime. It doesn't seem to care about the temperature. I don't like it. I don't know that it makes you a steering wheel holder. I think people would that just start may rely on it, and then if they get a truck either where it doesn't work or don't have it, it'll be a problem. But the same thing is going to happen in cars. People have all these cameras and stuff in their cars, which we have too, but then you still have to look. And some people probably don't do that, and it's not going to do any good for the whole industry. Conway changed her name to CFI, yes. I hear where drivers say it's better to fix your own truck. It's cheaper, but time is also money. And plus, I don't really know how to fix it that much. So, now I know where they're both crooks. Yeah, maybe, right. Can you stop for a bottle of wine on your way home in your car? Sure. U.S. and Covenant sounds like itchy and scratchy. I love that. That's great. Which is which? You're not a fan of plastic. The plastic is lighter, though, of course. And so then it saves fuel because we don't have to, drag all this metal down the road. If you're an owner-operator, it's best to know general repairs. Well, there's some repairs you should be able to do on the side of the road. Some things to get you rolling where you don't have to call a service person out, for sure. Even as a company driver, you should be able to bang your brakes out in the winter and, get some things rolling so that you don't have to waste time calling people out. But major repairs, other stuff, just have it fixed. You can check that on the Secretary of State. Well, I'm just curious if somebody knows if they have stock or not. What do I think about buying a truck with 450,000 miles on it? Truck costs $38,000. Are they reliable? The trucks are 2011. Well, I don't know. It's like a car. Two people buy a car that has 75,000 miles on it. One breaks down every 3 days, and one never has any problems. I mean, it's a crapshoot, right? Even if you get all the repair history and everything, you just never know. You never know. Get a warranty. That's what I say. Some people say no, get an old truck, no warranty or whatever, save money. I don't know. I mean, it's a huge risk because while you're down, you're not making money, right? But it may run for 4 years and never have any issues at all, and it may break down every 3 weeks. You just don't know. It's already, 7 years old, about to be 8 years old. That's old. And if it was a company truck somewhere, it might have had a ton of drivers, and that's a bigger problem of anything. Who else is as good as Crete? There's a lot of places, good as Crete or whatever. How about Maverick? How about Millis? Do I think Lowe's Hardware is closed today? No. I bet they are open. Brian is here. Good. Thanks for coming in today. Ryan O, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for coming in. Aren't the trucks more likely to get damaged when there's plastic on it? Not if you don't hit things. How about that? Don't hit stuff and then you won't get your truck damaged. You could purchase an aftermarket warranty on the used truck. Yeah, I think it's like a car, which is what I tell people on a car. I wouldn't get a warranty unless it came from the manufacturer. That's the same as a car. No third party. You're never going to get it paid. I think it's probably the same in a semi. Only a manufacturer warranty. Many of the dealers offer a bumper-to-bumper. I wouldn't. That's just what I'm saying. I want a manufacturer warranty. If I have to buy it or whatever, same as on a car. Many of the dealers, right, they offer that, but get it from the manufacturer. Because some third party across the country, they may not do it. For your driver found your channel a few weeks ago. That guy, thank you. So, Morgan, how did it come to pass you don't get paid hourly? Work is work, which doesn't seem fair. Yeah, how it came to pass is over the years, drivers tolerated it, mileage, and it has become the standard of the industry, and now getting it changed is a nightmare. The Fair Labor Standards Act in the 30s, 37, 38, right, exempted transportation. So even if drivers got hourly, they're not required to get overtime. Some places do pay overtime that pay hourly. They're not required to, and drivers are exempt from minimum wage. Isn't that great? Still, after all these years, we cannot get that changed. I just don't understand it. But part of it is you get what you'll accept, for sure. Drivers that are sitting and not being paid, after this, they have experience and they continue to sit without being paid. You kind of accept your fate then. Oh, you're in a commercial vehicle? I would say I wouldn't do it in a commercial vehicle. It's probably legal if it's underneath in the side box and it's not open. Personally, I wouldn't. I personally would not buy any kind of alcohol in the truck. I just wouldn't do it. in the thing, it's probably legal. Brian, I totally agree with you. You probably have one of the nicest looking trucks I've ever seen out here, for sure. And that has been turned out to be a really good place. You don't look at the age. I would buy a 79 Peterbilt, just to save money. Well, rather than go into debt. Would you save money with a truck that is, 40 years old? I mean, it's an antique. Do you really save money? So, I mean, would you buy a car that, a 1966 Chevy and drive that around because it's $400? That's the thing of it. That's the problem of it. You may not save money. Jarrett, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in today. Well, Bill, yeah, that's the only word so far today. Don't drive a Freightliner in the oil fields. How come? Will they just not tolerate it? You certainly should have some kind of heavy-duty thing out there. What do I think about Heartland Express policy to not allow power inverters? Derek, they probably what happened is somebody burned a truck down. And what they should do, really, is just install it themselves then. Rather than saying no inverter, they should just say, all right, you can have an inverter, but we have to install it. And then then it would be okay. But, I mean, it's their place, right? But they should install it for you. That's how they should do it. TMC and Maverick founders went to CDL school together. Wow. Oxymoron, thanks for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving. Heartland is a pretty good place other than inverters, I guess. The court has decided that Pam's laws for not paying minimum wage for drivers just sitting will open up a Supreme Court ruling on the issue down the road. Yeah, I think they're gonna appeal everything, and eventually it's gonna go to the Supreme Court on whether you should have to be paid when you're at work and exactly what determines what work is. Somebody's gonna have to make a determination. I say work is all your driving and on duty time together. You should be paid for all of that time, including overtime past 40 hours every week, just like everybody, just like a 15-year-old is at Taco Bell. Okay, you should at least get that much, to be considered a professional. You should have to get paid at least the same as a teenager. Holy mackerel. Freightliner Argosy is the truck for you. All right, well, good luck finding one. There weren't that many sold when they had them here. Cattle haulers are trying to get increased. Yeah, they did. Cattle haulers are exempt from the 30-minute break. I do know that. Oil field company driver versus Landstar. Oh, who's in the oil field as an owner-operator, and do you think that's better than Landstar? It'd be much harder on your truck, for sure. So you'll have to get more money for it. Yes, comfortable man, you should be paid, and that would encourage people to log legal. If you only got paid for driving and on duty time, you wouldn't go off duty when you were sitting at a dock. You'd stay on duty like you're supposed to so that you could get paid. And then you'd log legal, everybody would get paid, the whole industry would change. That's the way to do it. Cattle haulers are the last of the cowboys? I guess. What happens if you quit a job and you have 2 weeks paid vacation? Well, John McCain. Well, first off, John McCain, I am sorry to hear of your passing. And thank you for coming to us from the grave. And if you have vacation that you've earned, they're supposed to pay it to you. Will you get it? Probably not. They will not pay it to you, and they'll make you try to get them to pay it, which they won't do, and you'll just be out. And it will be so much of a hassle to get it, you probably will not get it. So you should take it, before you leave, because they're not going to give it to you. That's 90% of places won't pay it. Even though if you've earned vacation, they're supposed to pay it to you. Your good things about Landstar? I like looking at the load board, and I like how it works at Landstar. I really do. It's like the next best thing to having your own authority. I thought it was really a great system they had set up there. Comfortable man, yes. Look, I just wanted to be respectful of John McCain since he's been dead for some time. But yet still on the live feed here, which is excellent. Lots of 2000 trucks are exempt because a lot of them have the old engines. They had a bunch of these engines left over that they just kept putting in trucks. That's correct. But what you were saying is that a 79. I mean, no way would I drive that around regularly. There's no way. Owner operators bring in 2,000, 2,600 a day. Wow. All right, well, that would end the Landstar debate for sure. You'd like to email me? Sure, on Celadon, that it isn't as bad as it seems. You're not sure why they post that pay as many of us make more? Well, that's what they post. Go ahead and email me. The email link is in the description. You can always email me, mark@truckinganswersnation.com, and I'd love to see what you're talking about. But the pay, the way I put it out, that's what they say. Other than being able to bring a moose hound with you, it wasn't really that great of a company. So, but, unless you got a moose hound and need to go drive somewhere. So in layman's terms, the new hours are going to be 17 and 11. I don't know about that. And the 17, it's up to 17. They haven't said. I think that's maybe going to go. I think you're going to lose the 30-minute break. I don't know if you're going to get the 3 hours. Maybe. Yes, Omar. Exactly. I mean, we're getting a message from McCain. What do I think of reefer companies, James? I think no problem, right? Reefer. I always got the longest miles running reefer. And so, I think for miles, they seem to be the longest mile loads, for sure. And thanks for coming, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Mad Maldy, hey, good to see you in here. I am not an owner-operator. I am a company driver. Donna Schneider is married to a Swift executive. Is Donna Schneider someone that works at Schneider? Or is it the company named after her? Or is that orange her favorite color? You were putting up your Christmas tree? Not yet. We don't put up Christmas tree. It's Thanksgiving. How come average age is 62 for death of truckers? Well, we sit around all day, eat roller wieners, and, pee on the fuel island, and then everybody dies in their 60s and smoke. A lot of people smoke and don't walk around at all. And so that's it. Now, John McCain made it longer than us, but he didn't drive a truck. If you want to pay 70 hours a week of pay, you're going to get hosed one way or another. If you demand higher wages than the value of your labor, that's true, right? Companies have three options: outsource, relocate, or audit. It's hard to relocate or, a driving job. Demanding higher wages to be paid 30 hours overtime a week is going to speed automation. Not happening. Automation is decades away. My truck can't even find the road lines when it starts raining out. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Outsource, you couldn't outsource the job. You can't send my job to another country. It needs to be moved right here. So that's impossible. Relocate, the freight still needs to be moved wherever it is. They can't do it. And I think now, right, all I'm asking for is people to be paid for the work they do. Right now, like this week, U.S., they have hours where they don't pay people anything. And so I don't think that's a good option, saying, well, if you demand higher pay, there are drivers not being paid anything. 4 hours, it takes 3 hours before you get any money. That isn't any good. How is that a good plan? Drivers should be paid for all of their time like everybody else in the United States, including, a 15-year-old at Taco Bell who gets paid for all of their time. Why can't drivers get paid for all of their time? I just think it's ridiculous. Schneider had cab overs in 2012. Yikes. Carlsbad is in last. Long Beach has plans. Looks like you're going to Manhattan Beach. Man, get the Speedo out and get out there. LTL reefer companies? Well, look, I don't like doing a lot of stops. That's a personal thing. But like Cisco, pays really good. If you don't mind unloading the truck, Cisco seems to have an excellent pay. I've seen a ton of their ads. If your own truck and have experienced Texas Chrome trucking, yes, chrome that thing out. If McDonald's gets 15 an hour, then shouldn't our pay go up to $1 a mile? You could go home and flip burgers and be home every night for $15 an hour. That is correct. So this is a good thing. If a 15-year-old in McDonald's gets $15 an hour, because that's the wage, plus overtime, if they were to get overtime by law, don't you think you should get more than that? Or should drivers still be asked to sit for nothing? It's basically modern day slavery when drivers sit for free. It's ridiculous. Now, drivers shouldn't sit, but companies shouldn't have people work for nothing. Nothing. It's ridiculous. Does OIDA have value? Yes. Everybody should join OIDA. It's the largest way for us to get together to get our voices known in Washington and everywhere else, for sure. Flatbed does more work, but you actually get exercise. Yes, flatbed drivers do get some exercise, and you can still smoke while you're chaining your load down, which is pretty convenient as well. You've been listening to some drivers who support the Black Smoke Matters, and they say we tried talking, but Washington doesn't listen. Oh my God, that guy taking action. So they're going to stop the Beltway for 5 minutes? That's not action. And here's the thing. So he tried taking action. What happened? Where's all the changes? And what happened to that guy? He went back to his, spider hole where he lives in out in the field somewhere. Automated trucks won't happen. I mean, what's happening during road construction when the lines are missing? Yeah. Look, there's a crossover just south of me here that I go through where the one side is closed, and so you cross over and the lanes face each other on the wrong side. The truck would have to be programmed for that specific thing. You got decades. Peterbilt 379 is going to be retired before trucks in any kind of numbers are driving themselves. It is a long time away. A long time. Don't even consider it. John McCain. There's John McCain back from the grave again. That's really something. You got your CDL. Good. What is the preferred trailer tandem setting? Kingpin to center of rear axle. The Virginia bridge law is 41 feet. Each state has a different bridge law. And some of them are kingpin to center of rear axle. Some are kingpin to center of axle group. And some are kingpin to center of front axle. So you have to set it and forget it, as they say. No, you have to set it for the shortest state that your trip goes through. So, and there's tons of these you can print out, right, online for each state, and you have to set the tandems for the shortest state you're going to go in. So that's how you set it. You know, I like them farther back, but I'm not worried about going through Virginia with it. So if your load goes through 7 states, you'll have to look up each state, find the shortest setting, and set them there or shorter. That's how you do the trailer tandems. Then you're legal for your entire trip. Scale it out at the shortest setting, for sure. Black Smoke Matters. Yes, I agree. What is my current mileage? Life to date's 8.6 on my Cascadia. Not bad. Saya runs older Volvos, like 90s. Yikes. Saya's running 90 trucks? I doubt it. Maybe. We can increase our pay now, pass those costs to the consumers. I don't think automation is coming. It's not feasible. Drivers need to unionize. They will never unionize, that's for sure. Automation will come someday, but it is a long way away, for sure. And the consumer does need to pay. I mean, it's really something that in America, and I don't know if this is around the world, some of my international viewers can see this, why do people think that, you know, they want everything cheap, but then they want to make a bunch of money, but then they don't want to pay anything? We can't have it both ways. You know, go buy, you know, you got to pay if you want people to make money. That's the thing. Brian, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And everybody should look into TAC Trucking. If nothing else, go on their website and look at their trucks. I mean, if nothing else, they have beautiful looking trucks. And I do think it is a good company as well for somebody that is looking for a good place. But, you know, we want to make money, but then we don't want to spend any money. There was a guy, I was in Meyer last night getting stuff on the way home from work at like 4 in the morning. Anybody that was on my Instagram saw that I posted that at like 3. There's a guy waiting in line for a TV set. Now, this TV's probably made it some other country. He's waiting. He's probably going to be there 8 hours waiting to save $50. You know, well, that's why people don't make as much money as they could. People want to make a ton of money. Everybody wants to make $300,000, and nobody wants to spend any money, and that's the real problem. We got to spend it if you want to make it, for sure. I have not driven since December. Am I lazy or just tired of trucking? I think you're just tired of trucking. It's time to get back in the truck. Trucking companies have much money to be saved from automation if it is not to happen. The automation, I'm still saying, 30 years before any kind of larger rollout and 50 years before they can drive themselves. I read an article about how this would work, right? Every road sign, every street light has to talk to the vehicles. Plus, they all have to talk to each other so they know what they're doing. So on this crossover, They could have a road sign that tells all the vehicles, hey, right here you have to cross over, and then they would cross over. But every single road sign has to be automated to tell the vehicles you're about to cross over to the other side. It is forever for all this stuff to happen. They can't even fix a pothole. How are they going to change every single road sign in America? I wouldn't be concerned about it yet. Hand unloading is good exercise. I agree. There isn't much of that anymore. Flatbed pretty much now is the way to go to get exercise, at least. Because I haven't unloaded in many, many years. They don't want you doing it for workman's comp rules. Robot trucks will start with a lead truck and a driver, while the other two follow behind fly-by-wire. Yes, that'll happen as well. They'll kind of platoon, I think that's how they call it, pontoon the trucks together, and where a truck will basically follow you and it'll do whatever you do. That'll be a start as well. So one person will drive two trucks. And of course the company won't want to pay extra. Drivers should hold out for 2 trucks worth of pay if they're driving 2 trucks. So don't let them save money on the automation. You saw a Saia Freight Volvo 660. Yeah, but what year? Are you talking from the 90s? There's no way. Transportation will come before teleportation, before automated trucks. Well, then that's the end of all our job, because they can just have their stuff beamed in, which would be pretty awesome, by the way. More truck manufacturers need to go to the old school stripes. Let's stripe them up like BJ and the Bear. TAC trucking needs 3 years experience. All right, I didn't know that, but that's okay. Well, when you get 3 years, go over there. I'm not sure about that, though. How can a truck drive itself without a CDL? Oh, that's interesting. Well, the truck would pass the CDL test, though, right? I guess it can't do a pre-trip on itself. See, that's the other thing. How's the truck going to do a pre-trip? Well, it'll be in a yard somewhere, and there'll be somebody in there pre-tripping the trucks before they're sent out, and he'll have to, maybe there'll be a button he has to press or sign off on it or something, but that person won't make that much money. Believe me, we won't know who he is, because the only person left at that time from all of us here will be John McCain. In 2009, owner-operators parked their truck and gave up being owner-operators. Yeah, some do. They always say that, but what did they go to do? I mean, let's be honest. What else would we do? Once you're a driver, you're a driver. I mean, it's like, because just this week, Jim Jones, it's like a cult. You drink the Kool-Aid, that's it, you're in. We can't go anywhere else. They'll come and get us and bring us back and put us back in a truck. I'm not unloading. I just can't do it. I'll get a gym. Yeah, I would rather you got a gym. Unloading the truck stinks. And it doesn't pay anything, of course. Oh, we'll give the lumper $345. What are we going to give you? $16. All right, forget it. The same right, we don't see automated cars. One of those 80-pound and kills their soccer mom and kids. Yes. That's going to be the problem, is getting the public. The first accident, like that Uber self-driving car in Arizona had an accident, they stopped doing their whole self-driving thing. Absolutely. So they have to figure all that out. Who pays them? So the self-driving truck hits the soccer mom. Who pays? The owner of the truck. They'll say, oh, we weren't driving it. So, I mean, it's a real problem. The people that made the software, the trucking company. You just started CDL school. You're 62. Wow, that's awesome, Rich. If you started CDL school, where are you going to go? Are you going at a truck school yourself? Or are you having a company pay it? Where are you going to that company? What are you going to do with yourself? I mean, what are your plans? Now you're at school. What are the plans here in a few weeks? I'm curious. And that's great. Chris, yeah, you're also at CDL. What are we going to do? Come on. We could all go back to our other job as being neurosurgeons, but we didn't like that. We'd rather do this. When drivers say they have 1 million safe miles, are they keeping track of those miles themselves, or is it some kind of official document? Well, look, I say I have about 3.5 million safe miles. So, and that's just based on my driving time. You know, I haven't written every single mile down. Is that an exact amount? No, probably not. But, with that many years on the road, that's about how many miles I have. And it's about 8 years per million, approximately. So it's just an approximation. Unless you've written every odometer down from the day you start driving, people don't have an exact, amount of miles that they have, really. You've been driving 15 years and have no other experience. Well, all right. Lots of older Freightliners are really common when pulling containers. Yeah, containers seem to get the oldest trucks, for sure. You just watched the video about Jim Jones. Yes, it was crazy. I mean, for all those of us, I remember I was in school when that happened, and we talked about it at school. And, that's to this day, that's where the Kool-Aid comes from that. To this day, it's crazy that people would do that, but they did. It shows you how easily manipulated people can be, for sure, when they don't think for themselves. Oh, Hassan. Oh, thanks. Good. Good. Park for the day. Go in and get... Some truck stops are giving free meals out. I should have looked that up, but didn't. But some of them are giving you a free meal. Maybe you can go in and get some free food. Automated trucks will have so many sensors that it won't move till all the system... Yeah, they're going to have redundant sensors. A rock's going to knock a sensor off, and it's going to park. It's going to be a mess. Have I done a video on XPO? I have not. Company says I can't park on the side of the street. You had 10 minutes to go to get to park at the truck stop. As a newbie, what do you need to do to prevent this? Park a little earlier until you better know how your day goes. And I'm serious about that. You may have to cut a little bit, park a little bit sooner so that you don't run out of time before you get parked. So plan a little bit, parking a little bit sooner each day if you can. Truckers need to go to college. Most companies offer tuition. Yeah, they do. You're 60 and went to school on my own. Wow, you wanted a choice. Okay, good. You started at Millis when you were 60. Yeah, it would be a big challenge, right? But without a challenge, we don't grow, right? And what do you think? How old was your trainer, Randall? How old was your trainer there at Millis? That's always a good one. And how did that work out? That's always would be my biggest concern is that, Brendan, my trainer's 22, has been driving 9 months. That's what I'd be concerned about. In New Jersey, there's nothing free. Sorry. I did see that some of the truck stops were offering free food. At least in Jersey, the cars get their gas pumped for them. You should get overtime after 8 and 30. Well, 30 is pretty good. You should certainly get overtime. The guy who stopped the highway, right, the Beltway in D.C. for 5 minutes was the only one who drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah, it looks like he drank something. Gear Grinder, hey, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in today to the Thanksgiving show. You've been driving for 8 years, no way to go back to an office. Right. I mean, you get your own office, make your own rules. We're all making our own rules. We're all rebels. But no, you don't have to ask somebody if you can go to the bathroom. You don't have to beg somebody for a 10-minute break. I mean, working in an office in a cubicle, I just can't imagine it. They're looking beyond automated trucks. They want an automated trailer that can travel without the truck. How the heck would that happen? How would the trailer travel without the truck? Wouldn't that just be an automated truck then if it's driving itself around? Truckers were better trained back in the day. I don't know about that. I mean, I didn't have any training. Literally went from truck school to work. So even if somebody got some training today, that was more than I got. I went, graduated Thursday. Friday was a day to make up for people that didn't pass Thursday. And Monday I went to work. So I don't know. The only people making money off automated trucks will be lawyers. Well, they sue everybody for anything anyway, right? So nothing, basically you're saying nothing will change during the accidents. The Joliet Container Yards nets millions from fines. I was just seeing something about that. I didn't read the thing, but I did see that in Joliet, which is not far from me, they're making a ton on fines. I think they should make drivers learn how to drive the old trucks before they drive the new trucks. There aren't any new trucks around. There's not that many of the old ones around to drive. Z Hoverboard, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for coming in today. Kim, you'd definitely work in an office if you could. This is the only job you could get. Walmart didn't call you back. Yikes. I mean, Meijer's hiring for sure. But look, this is better than an office. It is. You worked in a cubicle for 15 years. Loved it, but retired and moved on. Yeah. Go start your second life in a truck. Is reserved parking annoying? I'm on the other side of that, I guess. I think that it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. If you know that you need to be somewhere at a certain time, and, at 2 a.m., you're not going to get parking. So what if you could pay an amount, whatever it is, and know for sure you've got a spot? Is that worth it? Now you don't have to worry. I don't know if I should park or go. The reserve parking, you could have that spot. Worth it. So I take a different side of it. Can I make a video about UPS Ground? Is that part of the freight system that they have there? Plenty of drivers work there in Albany. Do I know what's going on with the Teamsters? UPS has been trashing outside carriers. Yeah, UPS agreed to their contract, so they were good on that. See old school trucks in the junkyard. They should keep them alive. Yeah, keep them alive in a museum. Let's keep them off the road. You was out of hours and you're at the pilot and they said, sorry, it's a paid spot. And I said, sorry, I'm out of hours. That's interesting. Did you pay for the spot? I mean, if you're in a paid spot and it's a marked paid spot, you should pay for the spot. It is a private lot. Trucker Coach, what's happening? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in today. Where you live, you see a lot of older trucks. Yeah, maybe down there because they don't rust out down there. Because some of my old Macs, the doors would all rust on them, right? Start early, finish early. I agree. Then you can get parking or do a reverse like I run nights. So there's always parking because you reverse of everybody else. Your trainer was 50. Oh, that's good. Very professional. You know, that's good. You're still friends. What would you think about, Randall? What would you think if your trainer was, say, 22? I mean, I'm just curious about that. I don't think that would go over good for me and a lot of people. But you got good. You got lucky that you got a good trainer that was 50, and so it worked out better. Sorry you don't have money. That's interesting. They could boot you. Theoretically, they could boot you out of there. It is a private spot. They could have you towed. Why did Sterling get out of trucking? Holy crap. Haven't seen a Sterling in a while on the road. Wow. Yeah, you think that they're now reserving half the TA. Some of the lots do seem to have a lot of reserved parking. And that's going to happen. If they can get the money from the spot, they're going to do it, right? In a private lot. Do I drive an automatic or manual? I drive an automatic, and I don't mind a manual. But after driving these, which is an automated manual, right? The automatics, I'm in, right? Just drives just like a car. Most people's cars, pickup trucks they drive to work, they're automatics. No different in the truck. I'm a fan. You're not going to pay for the spot? Okay. You see there's an R model Mac for sale? Yikes. How'd you find that? Trooper Rage, thank you very much. I appreciate that today. Thank you. Can you as a trainer refuse to train a member of the opposite sex? As a male, I'd be uncomfortable teaming with a woman because of Me Too. Nice. And false allegations. Have you seen this? Yeah, usually it's the student that they say can refuse. But yes, I would say yes. You can say because of my religious views or whatever, that's how I'd probably put it. I'm not going to train someone of the opposite sex. So yes, I wouldn't put it as Me Too, but I would put it, a different reason. Certainly, because it is somewhat unseemly, and inappropriate for sure. I wouldn't do it. I'm married. I wouldn't train somebody of the opposite sex. I just wouldn't. Not where I'm gone like that, on the road, sleeping in the truck. No, I don't think it's appropriate. That's me, right? No way. The catchphrase for striking drivers was "fed up." Nice, from the FedEx. Oh, right. They should hashtag fed up. Nice. I could still find lots of old Pete 359s. Wow. Maybe down there, right. What are you going to pull with them? Containers, I guess, out of Savannah? It's not private. The lot is, if you're at a truck stop, it's a private. I think you said, did I not catch that right? If it's a paid spot at a truck stop, it's a private spot. You still see ABF. I have not seen a Sterling for ABF in like 1,000 years. Your trainer's a woman. We had no issues at all, but I understand why people wouldn't want to do it. Yes, it should be your choice and their choice, for sure. So if it's okay with the both of you, that's fine with me too. Either way, it's okay with me. But I think if you say no, that's not appropriate. I'm not going to be in a truck with somebody that's the opposite sex. They shouldn't have a problem with that, and I don't think there's any legal problem with it, really. Lindahl, thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad to see you here today. You see USF Redaway using Sterlings. Man, I have not seen a Sterling on a road in forever. You drive an automated Freightliner, but always keep it a manual because I personally don't like the way it shifts. I don't like the way it shifts at a red light. And I think it's partly the way that it's programmed. You know, our trucks go to first all the time, no matter how light it is. And so you have to upshift it at every light. I don't like that part of it. Otherwise, it's okay. It's certainly manual for up and down hills and getting out of a stuck spot in the snow, which we'll be doing here soon. Otherwise, no problem. You see our models for sale. That's crazy. When I was 22, I thought I knew everything. Yes, exactly. And that might be the problem of having a 22-year-old trainer and you're, 50, 60 years old. Maybe they figured that out and matched you with somebody, that was older. They're random, maybe. The truck stops are going to start charging admission to their store. Well, that probably wouldn't be as good of a spot for them to be in as as charging to park, for sure. Who's going to pay a cover to get in the Loves? You wouldn't train because of the Me Too. There's liability. Look, there's certainly there's liability like that. Somebody could say something for sure. It's possible. I wouldn't do it because I don't think it's appropriate. I'm married. So that's why I wouldn't do it. Savannah's your hometown, so you must see tons of containers down there. It's okay, so ABS is using these in Georgia? They're still using Sterlings? How old are these trucks? What are they doing down there? Pilot's going to start charging $5 to go in their store. I don't know about that. There's some places that charge you to park after a couple of hours. I don't know about paying a cover fee to get in a truck stop. You know trainers who met their future wife because of training the student. Oh, that's all they need, right? That's a good thing to say, right? It's exactly why you shouldn't do it, right? What do I recommend? Staying warm in the truck if it breaks down and you're out there for hours and it's below zero. Bring a bunch of blankets, I guess. Wrap yourself up, right? Your company ought to get out to you quick. First time you drove a tractor was 79 in a snowstorm when the trainer didn't show up, then I became a permanent trailer driver. Right, that's how it starts sometimes. Somebody's got to get this stuff moved, right? So, Kim, you saw an old Ford 3 weeks ago? That's even older than the Sterling. I wouldn't be comfortable with a younger trainer, especially 22 years old. That's the thing of it. Life and people experience allow you to adapt your texting style to different age trainees. Yeah, that's the thing if you're older. Maybe you should ask them for an older trainer because I think it would probably go better. Let's just be honest about it. You don't have as much in common with somebody that's got 100,000 miles of driving experience. Sleeping bag, strip down, you'll be warmer than clothes on. Yeah, until the guy gets there or person gets there to fix your truck. 18-year-olds driving trucks, it's happening. Hogan is making a big push to hire people that are 18 years old for intrastate. They're running ads all over the place here for it. Hey, you're 18, come and drive for us. Helping you get your CDL, and then as you turn 21, you can transition to interstate for them. So yeah, it's coming. Peterbilt, yeah, maybe, right. You might. Do I encourage doubles endorsement? I encourage you to get all of your endorsements. Hazmat, doubles, triples, and tanker. Get them. As I found out a few weeks ago, they don't always stay. But here in Indiana, other than hazmat, they stay on your license forever with no further charge other than the first charge. That varies state by state. Get them all. You never know when you'll use them in the future. Do I think a training truck should have a driver-facing camera? No. I don't think they should have a driver-facing camera because that's just the foot in the door of, other problems. And it doesn't always, the time you want it to go off, it may not go off anyway. So, no. Major cities have gate guards. Yeah, maybe the city does need that. Right, Kevin. Yes, trailer, right. Yesterday you saw a 359 logging truck. You must be in the center of the Museum of Trucking down there. Sergeant Sparky, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here today. Last week you saw a 359 pulling a CFI trailer. That must just be to move it around or something. It's likely that most companies won't let you run a truck that's over a certain age as an owner-operator. You never went with a trainer, Kevin. I didn't get a trainer either. In '88, when I started driving, I just went to work. The USF Redaway truck did look old, I bet, because it was old. 18, you drove like Paul Walker, so that's kind of scary. Yeah. I mean, I've been, look, I did a lot of stupid stuff in the car too as a younger person, even though I'm only in my extreme upper 30s now. But yeah, I cannot imagine. I'm lucky that I didn't have accidents in those first few years. I'm looking back on, I did a bunch of stupid stuff. I've said I remember going across Pennsylvania in my first winter because I started driving in July and just cruising, passing everybody, thinking in a huge snowstorm. I'm thinking, wonder why all these people are going so slow. I mean, I'm super lucky that I didn't run off the road or kill somebody because I had no idea what I was doing. So I got lucky on that part of it for sure. AXT Twick C-Link. Man, you got it all over there, Kevin. You can go everywhere. You need a passport too. For you, right. Although I don't say that for everybody. I'm 27 and never had an accident. Good. And need a fourth generation driver. Some younger guys. Look, I'm not saying younger guys can't be capable. I started driving when I was 21. And so I think that you could be, right? Absolutely. There are young people that could drive, for sure. Does hauling frac sand require a tanker endorsement? If you are hauling it in a tanker, yes. When did they stop making cab overs? 2002, maybe? Was the Argosy? Early 2000s, they still made that Argosy for a while. Let's see. To be honest, you had a 2-year trainer. My first trainer was 57. All right. I witnessed him exhibiting road rage, screaming at cars, terrible temper. And you requested a new trainer. Good. I hope you told them that, too, because, that person is going to get into an accident and get somebody killed. They don't have the temperament to drive. You need to have a temperament to drive. You're going to be calm. Calm it down, right? Everything's going to be okay. Stay calm. You wonder if it has something to do where you live. Fleets are using older trucks. Yeah, it must have something because down there, they must be preserved. No salt or anything on the roads, right? Most smaller fleets are using gliders for their trucks to get around DEF. Some are. They've had an uptick in sales. 72 today in Lake Havasu. Nice. Thanks for throwing that out there on Thanksgiving. Trailer's crooked. Yeah, well, does it go sideways down the road, as they say? That's from people curbing it, by the way. When you see them going, they don't follow you. Usually that's from people popping the wheels over curbs. That's what I found anyway here. When you get ones that are off, it's somebody's curbed it a bunch of times. Duck Calm, Duck, thanks you. Happy Thanksgiving out there. You saw 352 cab over. You should take pictures of these and make some kind of gallery for yourself. Or send them to me. I'll post them. There's a couple cab overs on the gallery. I think at least one cab over I have up there. Frac sand into pneumatic does not require it. If it's in a pneumatic, all right, we'll go with that. Your company is buying Thanksgiving dinner at a truck stop, at their place, or at your house. Man, it's 52 in central Illinois. Yeah, it's mid-40s here. Not a bad day. Sunny. We've had some snowy Thanksgiving. So this one, we're going to be thankful just for the weather today. Colorado's going the way of California in emissions. Well, the trucks already meet the California emissions, so generally, it probably won't change much, really. Yeah, curb trailer, Derek. That's what I'm saying. People have popped that thing over curbs, and now it doesn't go straight down the road. Just ruins the tires. Oh, that's a good one for Swift. That's good. People don't do Swift as often. Seems like the newer trailers, dogleg and older trailers, it just depends if they've been curbed. People pop them over the curbs a lot. You got 324 miles before you get to Rawlings for the night. All right. Well, that's a good roll. What's it doing? What's the weather doing up there in 80? If truck stops need more money, then they should stop the rewards program and just give free showers and fueling. They wouldn't have to charge for parking spots. That's the way it used to be, right? With your fuel receipt, one of them was a shower ticket. That's where they got that from. I'm sure some of you remember that. You pulled the yellow ticket out and gave it to them when you got your shower, and you'd get the towels and everything from the cashier and a key on a gigantic, long stick, and do your shower and bring your towels back and then leave. That's how it used to be, right? Driving to Wilmington, comfortable, man. So, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming in, and happy Thanksgiving to you. You had a trailer that had a wicked dog leg. Yes. Oh, a new one. Well, what's going on? I'm right here by Wabash. We can go down there and yell at them. Okay, good. They're buying you dinner at the truck stop. Sergeant Sparky. That is awesome. At least they're doing something for you. The older trucks around here, because they're more rare, you can't run them in California, really. They don't like that. They hate everything over there. 65 in Kansas today? Man, what a great day. How many old trucks do I see on average? Not many. Just guys running containers out of Chicago coming down this way. You drove a cement tanker, so it's dry bulk and doesn't need a tanker endorsement. So dry bulk, no tank on it. Swift driver here, and you're laughing all the way. The bank with my $1,100 a week check right out of CDL school. Nice. You're not on 80 yet. Okay, so you're on 15. Good. What is it what's doing over there in Salt Lake City? What's the weather out that far over? You thought a dogleg was sliding tandems without being in a straight line? Yeah, you can bend them that way too. That's true too. Turkey, exactly. Your neighbor drives a white Volvo. Nice. That is a brand of truck. Volvo white, not a color. Trailer maximum no more than 10 years. Some places do require that. It's 30 in Chicago, Wild Bill. That's still not terrible today because there's no snow. You know that many Thanksgivings are way worse than this one. This one, look at the sun. We're going to be grateful for that sun coming in today. Off-track is more than curbs. It's from hitting protection posts. Yeah, you pull them along those yellow posts and everything. Absolutely. It's 20 in New York City. Well, I'll never find that out anymore. Other than from people telling me. Hopefully you're not there today. The tandems need to be aligned. Yes. They can get knocked out. Yes. And they should be aligned. The company should want to do it. It ruins their tires. And it reduces their fuel mileage as they drag them along. It's usually a newer Wabash. The older ones always ride straight. Okay. Where you live city. Easy make propaganda on internet. I don't know what the heck that means. It's 74 in LA. Nice. Where it's always 74 degrees, right? I need somebody to call a truck driver from Hawaii to be in here. For sure. You saw a Peterbilt 359 with a double Eagle sleeper, and it was yikes. So this thing probably, these double Eagle sleepers, which are gigantic, are put on there, and they're super expensive. So this must be some kind of restored truck. 25 in Frackville, Pennsylvania, but no snow, right? Still. You used to chase the rewards, but my company always has minimum 60-gallon fuel stops. Okay. So you can always find a free shower and prefer to drink my own coffee, plus get a couple lunches a week on points. I agree. There are people here that just stop at Pilots because of the rewards. I don't like that. I stop at the Loves. I may get less points, only get the 4-point thing, but it's easier to get in and out of there. So that's what I do, you know. I look for a place where it's easy to get in and out. I don't want to waste my time. That's time off your clock. This is why I drive a truck to get out of New York City. Yeah, exactly. You need to drive it 24 hours a day to live in New York City. Turkey style's best. Nice. Bordentown Tea in New Jersey has the best buffet on the road. Is it free today, though? Because some of the truck stops said that that truck drivers would eat free today, but they didn't all say it. So it wouldn't be like all TAs or all Petros. But if you're at a truck stop today, go in there and ask them, hey, you going to feed my face for free today? And they may pelt you with roller wieners to get out of there. But either way, it's worth asking. Let's see. You're at the Loves. Yeah, I love the Loves. You want to move to Chicago? Is that any better than where you are? Loves has better coffee. They have a lot of nice creamers. I'll take your word for that. I'm not a coffee drinker. I have less than 10 cups a year probably, which is unusual for a driver, I guess. But I just never really got into drinking a bunch of coffee. I know there are people that drink pot after pot of it, but just never got into coffee, really. The double Eagle you saw was a famous truck. Okay, type big rig videos, roll and transport. All right, so it's some kind of restored antique truck. That's why it's on there. And by the way, if you're coming to Mid-America Truck Show here in March, where I will be, and I hope to see you all there, Generally, Double Eagle has a display there and lets you get in the sleepers and look around and stuff. Really fascinating. I hope to see you all there. In about a week, you'll be able to get your free tickets on the website, and I'll have a link to that and everything on my website. So, because the tickets are no cost to get in if you get them in advance. Petro makes it difficult to use the points. I'll take your word for that. It's less crowded than New York City. Everywhere is less crowded than New York City. Oh, you wish Loves would add laundry? Some of them have laundry. Some of the Loves have laundry. It depends. You drink it every day. Some people do, but I'm not never got into coffee, really. Loves is the only place your company fuels at. Yeah, that's good, though. That's better than some. There's some places where they're pretty far apart. Like, we have an open fuel card, so I don't have to worry about that. But I only fuel at the Loves. You're going to get a bag of In-N-Out burgers. They're delicious. Bring some. You should get enough for everybody now that you mention them. Never had a cup of coffee in your life. That's something. Coke or Pepsi. Well, you can't have both. It's Coke or Pepsi. Didn't you take the Pepsi challenge? Do you remember that? Where you would drink one and then the other and then have to decide which was better? The Pepsi challenge, they called it. I guess I'm probably so old in my upper 30s like this. I'm the only one that remembers it. Well, I make a video for the Mid-America Truck Show. I will be live at the Mid-America Truck Show for at least a couple of days. At least Friday, Saturday, I'll be down there live both days, all day live. So we'll be down there just firing up the camera and being live down there, broadcasting live. I'll have a screen here, and I plan to walk through the recruiting area as well. So as we go to each booth, I'll let you know which booth I'm in, and if you have questions for that specific recruiter, I can ask them, and we'll get the answer right there. That's how I plan to do that. So that should give everybody an opportunity to ask recruiters questions in case you can't be there. So we'll go through the recruiting thing. I'll try to do that both days. At least one day I'll go recruiter to recruiter to recruiter and just ask them questions that you want to ask them, and you can get your recruiting questions answered right there without having to talk to them on the phone. That's how I plan to do at least part of the show. Yeah, exactly, Trooper. Sugar is poison. Poison is also poison, so keep that in mind. Yes, Wild Bill, you remember, but most people don't remember the Pepsi challenge. I used to use the Loves, but lately been going to the J. Seems like their showers are better. I don't know. It's easier to get a shower at a Pilot because at the Loves, it's still old school. We have to walk up and ask them for a towel and everything like it's 2010. That's old school now. So the Loves, most of them don't have the electronic showers yet, and I wish they would upgrade to that. But I asked them at the Loves, and she goes, "Oh, well, the corporate said that's because, drivers get a more personal experience that way." But I don't care. They're not coming in the shower with me. I don't need a personal experience. Come on. Have you been to a soda plant? No. Been to a tobacco plant, and I think it smells great. Some places don't have both. Yeah, then you got a problem. I guess then do you mind Pepsi? Yeah, I mind. I didn't order that. That's what I tell them. You drink 1 cup a day and have a Keurig maker. Oh, nice. You're rolling out there, man. Richard wanted to get home for Thanksgiving. You were in Knoxville. They did not have any loads. Ugh. You stayed a day, then they still had no loads. So now what? Are they going to at least pay you? Because that sounds like layover to me. Coffee drinkers live longer. Shower's a shower. They have hot water and a counter to hold my stuff. I agree. I think it's easier to get in the shower there. I don't have to wait behind 9 people to get somebody to give me a towel. That's what I'm saying. It's more efficient. Shipping a deadhead from Tennessee to New York, they better pay you for it. You're going to pass out on turkey. Thanks for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving. You remember the Pepsi challenge? Yeah, you should, right. They would take you home tonight, right? Yes, I read the name. Right. Did you take the Pepsi challenge? I took it at an auto show. You're in a little 3-truck company. We have fuel cards and use TAs. That's pretty good too, as long as you're not at the Pilot. I never like that some of them have a long line. I don't like waiting in line there. Bread Factory is the best smell. That is good too. But I was surprised when I picked up tobacco, the actual tobacco, how good it smells. I'm like, man, I got to start smoking. This stuff smells great. Who's with me? Does it not smell super scrumptious in there? I mean, come on. You had the deadhead from New York to Tennessee. Well, look, as long as they pay you, I'd rather the deadhead than go pick loads up, to be honest with you. You're not in space. That's good, because I don't know what you can get to eat up there. You had to pay for the fuel. No, he didn't make minimum wage this week. That is a problem, and that's why drivers should have to be paid by the hour. All the time that you spent waiting for a load would be on duty time, and then they would have to pay you. Have I heard of Bush's new beans? Bush's new baked beans. They add Dr. Pepper. They add Dr. Pepper in the beans? Ever delivered to a paper mill? Yes. Why do they stink so bad? Is it all the chemicals they have to put in there to make paper? Horrible. The World of Wheels at the McCormick Place, we were probably there at the same time. I've been to auto shows at McCormick Place next to the Erie Crown Theater tons of times at the World of Wheels, and that's where I took the Pepsi Challenge. They had it set up there. I love going to the auto show. We go to the Indianapolis one now, but I, as a kid, right, me and my dad would go to the auto show every single year. I'd get through all those catalogs and everything. Just the greatest thing. It smells great until you light it. Yes, Randall. Look, as a cigarette, I don't think it smells good. But picking up tobacco, I mean, just smells great. The problem was, after I delivered it, the truck stank like tobacco, the trailer. And so then the next load was some kind of another food load, but canned food, because this was a dry van. I remember, and I thought, man, I wonder if they're going to allow me to pick this load up, which they did give me a little grief about it, but they did load it. They did load it. So you have to consider that too, especially running a reefer. If your trailer stinks because of something you picked up, you may have to get it de-stinkified before they'll let you pick your next load up, because they don't want their food stinking up with the last food, and that's serious. That is a serious thing. I'm not making a joke about that. If you get a pungent load, how about that? That you may have to get your trailer de-stinked before you pick your next load up. Really. What do I think about Uber Freight? I don't really know that much about Uber Freight as a company driver. I know that since they shook up the whole taxi industry, they'll probably shake up the whole shipping industry. That's what they do, right? Am I a Ford or a Chevy guy? Ford, of course, right? I mean, there's no question about it. Your guess is the chemicals that process the paper? Yeah, I think so too. It does stink in there. Considering paper doesn't really smell like anything. You have to have your own authority to run Uber. I think so. I think I have read that. You need your own authority, and it works like a load board somehow. So I'm sure somebody on your number knows more about it than me, for sure. Coffee grounds work, yes. But I got to drink a lot of coffee to get enough grounds to fill that trailer up. I'm like drinking, and then you got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, that's 800 cups of coffee. So then I'm up for 4 days trying to drink a lot of coffee. It just takes a long time to get them. That's what I'm saying. Wow, Bill, exactly. When you get your truck washed, is there any place that wash out your trailer? Yeah, wherever the Blue Beacon does trailer washouts, for sure. Did tons of those as a reefer. You're going to be in there kind of often getting your trailer washed out. Just go, give me a trailer washout, and they'll get right on it for you. You see custom trucks in Virginia. Why is that? How come only over there? The Sam's Club shopping cart is so big that there's a spot for 2 kids in the flappy spot. That's awesome. I'm not a member, so I don't know. Send a picture of that to me. I'll post that. That's great. Oh, especially one with 2 kids. That'd be even better. Coffee grounds work. Yeah, but look, like she was saying, look how much coffee you got to drink to get enough grounds to put them in the trailer. And then you got to take them out of there. Here's a trick you learned when you were hauling detergent and you had to get a food grade load, use coffee grounds on the floor. Yes, that's what people are saying. But look, if they're used up, that takes you forever. And if they're dry coffee grounds, what would that cost? I need $7,000 of coffee, please. I mean, that's not something that you can do. I mean, that's going to cost for a fortune. 53 feet worth of coffee. Yeah, how much is that going to cost? I need 60 cans of Folgers immediately. Or what if it's Sanka? Because you don't want to be up all night. So you're going to want to use Sanka. You got to open all those little packets. Open them, pour it, open them, pour it. Oh, how many? That must take 1,000 packets. No way. I think there's got to be a better way than opening up 1,000 Sanka packets to clean out your trailer. No way. Do I know if Coalesco only hires company drivers or not? Because I don't know. I never heard of them. Is that a place down by you? If it's no touch freight, then why do we have to clean our trailers? You don't. You get a trailer washout. The most I've ever had to do with a reefer is sweep it. Y'all should have a broom with you to sweep it out, but and not in the back of the truck stop, right? But otherwise, take it to Blue Beacon and have it washed out for sure. The water is going to fall off the ball earth. Yeah, no, because it's flat. We can look outside. We've already talked about this. If the earth was round, you'd never get any miles because you'd come right back to where you started from. So obviously we know that. Brian, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, you and everyone out there. Ever heard of First Class? Their white fleet is custom. I've seen some trailers that say First Class. You bleached your trailer, get rid of the smell. Yeah, but I can't imagine getting in that trailer and pouring the bleach in there, and then what? You're dead because of the stink. As soon as you open and pour it, you're like, you fall over because of the bleach, the chlorine, right? You're dead. So I don't think that's a good plan, and the trailer's all white. I don't know about that. So who would do that anyway? Just to mask the smell. Yes, it would work, but they'd have to get your body out of there. You'd be surprised what a $5 pack of cigarettes can buy. Yeah, you're not sure where their headquarters is? I don't know. Check them out on the web. You must have internet, right? Sanka would be, oh, wow, Bill. Wow, that's awesome. Instant. That's it. Instant destinkification. Yes, instant. But it just takes too long to open all those little packets up. Trooper, exactly. The Earth obviously flat. You can look outside and see it. We all know it. Everybody knows it. They just don't want you to know it. We all know it, though. Just buy the cheapest coffee grounds in a can. You don't have to drink it. But I'm saying if I'm putting them down, even cheap ones, I need 77 cans of them to fill the trailer up with coffee that I'm pouring down. So I got to spend, however much a can of coffee is, $10 or whatever. I got $700 to clean my trailer out. Hauling recycled cardboard is bad. It's probably from those same chemical things, right? Just leave one door open when going to the next pickup. There was a meme the other day that had a Swift trailer going down the road with one door open. We like to pick on them sometimes, but this was who it was. And he was going down the road with the door open. I don't know how that little chain held on to that. When the things like that, I say it smells like money. Yeah, if you work at the Blue Beacon, it does. A gallon of Dawn and a push broom. That's interesting. If you were going to drive for Werner, if you'd let me drive there, they don't have any more 379s at Werner. That's the problem, right? Dawn, how does Dawn take the smell? Dawn takes grease out of your way. It doesn't say that it takes stink out of your way. Or I would just get in a spray bottle and spray it at drivers walking around the truck stop. Used to love Star Trek. Geocentrism ruined it for me, but I'm better with my eyes open. Look, don't talk bad about Star Trek. The Earth is big. It's not flat. It's obviously flat. You can look outside and see it's flat. We've talked about that here. I can look outside, it's flat. That's all I need to know. I've talked about it many times here when people try to say that stuff. When you pull dump trailers, you used to leave the tarp open, go to the next pickup. Yeah, it cleans all that dust out, and then I have to get my car painted because you sandblasted it. Thanks a lot. It has perfume in it in Dawn. Would it take the stink out of a trailer? Is that like a thing? Roger Penske, thank you for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Let's have a vote on ball or flat. That's not going to go good. It's flat. You don't fill the trailer up with coffee. Sprinkle it on the floor. I can't stand it. And close the doors. Drive to your next pickup and sweep it out. But still, I got to have enough coffee to get the stink out. So it's a big trailer. And in a reefer, let's be honest, it gets in all the grooves, right? So, and then it's going to fill the holes up, and then the trailer's not going to drain properly. And what do I do with all the coffee when I get to my next stop? What do I ask the guy for a gigantic bag and say, look, I have to sweep, I need to sweep up 68 pounds of coffee. I'll be back in a few minutes. I mean, what do I do with all the coffee then? Could you still drink it? Could you still make coffee out of it? Maybe you could. Have you ever, Been to the outpost cities where they don't have an ATM at the bank. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, who uses an ATM? I mean, on the road, you don't need an ATM really for much of anything. You can always go to a big box store, make a purchase, and get a withdrawal of money if you need it, I suppose. Then I'll have a coffee swimming pool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How much? What am I going to do with all this coffee? I want a truck with a loud turbo whistle. Some of them you can hear it on some of them. You can still hear it on some where it whistles out pretty good. Do I like recap tires? I'm still not sold. I've seen them last. You know, they run recaps here on the trailers, and, you know, they're okay. They don't seem to last any more or less than the other tires that we have. So to save money, I guess it's all right. I don't pay for them, so I don't care that much. But I don't seem to blow any more on the tractor or trailer. And the trailers have recaps. So for me, it seems to be a wash. You know, that doesn't seem that they've used any, they don't blow any, they don't, for me anyway, they don't seem to blow out any more than virgin tires, as they call them. Blow it out with a leaf blower. So I got this big coffee cloud behind me, so I'm blowing with this leaf blower. Besides, where's all the coffee go? And I'm sort of polluting. And the people, I got this big gigantic coffee cloud. All the birds back there are all caffeinated up, flying around at 700 miles an hour and being attacked by pelicans that are caffeinated pelicans and stuff. I don't think that's a good plan. Or the mosquitoes have caffeine now. Do the W900s have a loud whistle? It's just the way that they're made. It depends on how they've made the blow-off and all that on them. Some of them do. Those $4 bottles of air freshener. Oh, you know what you could do? Go in the bathroom for that 50 cents and hit that thing and put it in your hands and then throw it in the trailer and go back in the bathroom, get that scent, and do that a few times too. There's that. Give the extra coffee to John McCain. He might need it. No need for an ATM, but always keep some sort of cash. One time my debit card was copied and used 1,000 miles. Oh, so then you'd have to turn it off on the road. Yeah, that's actually very good. Because if you have to turn it off on the road, you have no way to get another one unless you're at a national bank, for sure. Right, the blow-off valve makes a noise. So if you get a different blow-off, you can make better noise. Sure, can, exactly. You don't want these birds. I've seen a Hitchcock, okay? I don't want to be blowing all this coffee out there. Everyone knows the Earth is an isohedron. Oh, wow. It's college day here. Holy mackerel. Get a crap load of those pine trees? Yeah, that's a good idea too. Just have them hanging in there already. I like the new trailer smell ones. So get that one. New trailer smell. The T600 was the first aerodynamic. That's where it started, right? Although, you know, cab overs always did really good on fuel. Cab overs were never bad on fuel, that's for sure. You think they should have kept it? Everything gets advanced. Have I heard of Mid-Con carriers out of Oklahoma? No, I have not, and happy Thanksgiving to you. What have you heard? That's the thing. Spread the info that you have on them out here. What do you think about the place of Mid-Con carriers? You must have something that you've thought about them, for sure. Truck stops need more ATM machines because you can't pay tolls with a debit card. That's interesting. The problem here again, how much would they charge for that? You might as well pay for parking. I bet they would charge $4 or $5 to get $20. What they should do at the truck stop is let you get cash with a purchase. Don't they let you do that? Maybe they do. I'm not sure. But they should do it like a regular, you know, Walmart or whatever. Barnum has new trailers and still have that fresh wood smell. Oh, they need to get the Duraplates, right? But that's good. It's not all scratched up and everything, right? Chase Bank, you had to put your card in the door like a motel to open it to get in here where they have 4 ATMs. Oh, yeah. Some of them you use your card to open the door to get in the ATMs. I don't like those little rooms at all. You can get bonked on the head in there. No way, right? Why do people make turducken by stuffing birds into each other's buttholes? That is a very good question. I never understood that. You know, I don't get it. Why you got to stuff all these birds together? And I don't know how they all cook. Hassan says it's $4, basically $3.95 to get money out of an ATM. That's a crazy lot of money. You don't need to fill the whole trailer. You hauled fish from Miami to California. Ugh. After the fish were unloaded, you put Dawn in the trailer and went to get a washout. After the washout, you put coffee. That's a lot of work. How do they fill the trailer up with water and then put the fish in it to like tilt you forward? So they tilt the trailer like this and put the fish, fill it up with water, and then put the fish in there. Is that how that worked? And at the end, they just open the doors and out they come. And then, but then you got all that fish smell in there. So those are new Wabashes with wood floors. Yeah, they should get Duraplates. Claudio, hey, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in. Do I have the good air horns on the top? No. The air horns, you can't see them. Right, you get the advantage. Exactly, Mad Maldi. You work for them. Small company hauls a lot of out and back loads. Good for those who are wanting to drive but want to be home. Yes, that's what you should. You want the best of both, right? Though it's not an Italian holiday, you enjoy it a lot since I moved to the United States. Hey, enjoy the holidays while you're here, right? Any holiday can be an Italian holiday. Just cook the right food. Freightliner air horn sounds louder inside than outside. Yeah, because I think the horn points back at you because people get scared of the loud horns. It's like muffled. I totally agree. You did a leaf blower, but broom is much more effective. Depends if you're blowing coffee out. Nobody can break into your truck if you use a 1-inch ratchet strap to both door handles. I like a budgie better. A ratchet strap seems like it would be too complicated to get out in a fire, where the bungee, you're just one click and you're out. If you ratchet strap them together and you need to get out of the truck for some reason, I think that's a concern. You know, you don't want to be fighting with that. You're already there in your underoos trying to get out of the truck. It's the underwear that's fun to wear. And then you can't get out because you're ratchet strapped in. That's not hot. You don't want to go that way. That's no good. That's not the best way to go. You don't want that written in the newspaper. Bar None pays $105 if you have to clean a trailer. Who says it? Do they take your word for it? The Pete's have good air horns because they're up on the top where they belong. But then in the winter, they fill up with ice if you don't have that thing in the end of them. If it's flat, when it be square. Yes, well, a cube, right? If it was the earth. Where's one? I don't know. Tobacco leaves smell great. I don't know why they smell so good like that, and then they're so horrible and then kill you. Something that smells so good is really so bad. Yesterday you got a 359 to honk the horn and you could barely hear it. Sorry. That's where it's going today because all these cities gripe about it. And they have to put them away. You have to take a picture of it and email it to them. Oh, that's all right. So that's still legit though. And then they give you $105. I'm still in for that. That's good. People use their seatbelts to keep their doors closed. They do, but it's still, I don't like that either because the way it clicks in there. I like the bungee idea, the black bungee, where because then the more that the door is pulled on, the bungee gets tighter and it's harder to open. So the more they put, the seatbelt doesn't stretch like that. So not the round bungees, but the flat black ones, so that it's tight. You know, that's the way I think it works out better. What are my thoughts on Prime? I'm not a huge fan of it. It's probably better than other places. Just not a gigantic fan of these big places like Prime. And they push leasing there super hard at Prime. Let's see. What is the tobacco? It's not the tobacco. Oh, okay. It's the chemicals that they add. They shouldn't add anything. They should just let it smell great. You like the air horns on the old trucks? You don't have to use them very often. Just when there's a kid there doing the air horn thing. Your doctor says a cigarette has 300 different toxins. Yikes. Well, so the goal is then unwrap it and just smoke the tobacco out of it, right? Skunks that use tomato juice in the trailer. Yeah. How does that get out of the trailer wherever you go? Oh, thank you very much, Claudia. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for being here today. Freightliner has only 7 different sets of keys. In Little Rock, people make them different. Oh, you know, not that long ago, I came into the yard, and there was some guy standing there next to his truck. And he's like, do you know where there's an extra key? I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, right? He locked his key in the truck. I'm like, well, let's try my key. And doggone it if it didn't open his truck up. So I totally agree with that because, you know, I had no idea. I'm like, let's just give it a whirl. Open him right up. So there must only be a few different keys, which seems crazy that you could just walk through a truck stop, especially now on the holiday, and go pick yourself up a new truck. Really. USA Truck ran the internationals. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of internationals then or now. I think they look better now, but I just don't like them. I've always been thing. No, fleets use the same key. No, I tried it in another truck to see, and it didn't open it. So we have at least a couple of different keys for sure, but it did open that truck, which I thought was really something. You were just at the bank and had to put your ATM in the car. Oh, just to get in the bank? They won't let you in the door of the bank. What if you just want to open an account? You have to bang on the door. Please let me in. I want to put my money here. I mean, I thought you were talking about getting in the little room with the ATM, not in the actual bank itself. What do they care if you come in the bank? That's a place that also has their pens on a chain. They have all your money, and then they put the pen on a chain, even though they have all of your money inside the bank. Where you live, you have a Mack dealer and a Freightliner dealer. Good. You'll be able to go into one of those and pick up a truck. And remember, tomorrow's Black Friday. You can go get a truck at a discount. No time like the present than to go get your truck. So it's Freightliner only. Oh, so if I have 1 of 7 chances to work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that it opened him right up. Stay away from there. It must have a high crime rate. Well, I think that they should have more than 7 keys. I can't just walk up to any Ford and get in it. So, no way. Oh, the fish were in boxes and ice. Okay, so I wondered, so they didn't actually fill your trailer with water and just dump live fish in there, is what you were saying. AT&T put my PIN number wrong and 2 times and it eats your card. I've heard all these kind of rumors, but I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not willing to try it out. But, I've heard rumors, put it in backwards and, put it in 2 times and it takes your card. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not. Hopefully one of you will try it and write to me and let me know if it works. Remind you when you become an owner-operator and you wait to Thanksgiving? Yes. And go in on Black Friday and tell them you want a deal. You've heard that they're dealing. The sun and the moon must also be flat, obviously. They're obviously flat, too. Of course. Now we're getting somewhere. We all face each other. They're obviously flat, too. Little Rock, West Memphis, and Atlanta, where people have been using keys to open trucks. I would say, yeah. West Memphis has always been a hotspot of crime. I wouldn't park there at all. I mean, I would make a point to not park at any of those West Memphis truck stops ever. God wouldn't even probably go in there to fuel because it's always been crime central down there. It's sad. They're so close to Elvis. Would I recommend buying a truck from a dealer out of state? It doesn't. I don't think it makes any difference. On something that expensive, I'd probably get it where I could get the best deal on it. That would be the thing. You might be able to say, what if you saved $10,000 somewhere else? You could fly there, right, and pick up the truck and just drive it back. So for sure, go where it's cheaper. Most banks, if a card is expired or entered incorrectly many times and reported stolen, it will keep the card. So if your card expires, it eats your card too? I have an old card. I should go try that. Everything is flat. We just get 3D. Yes. You get 3D so we can know what things are flat and what aren't flat. Of course. West Memphis is your favorite place to go. It's just too dangerous at those truck stops. It's a known thing there. Like those truck stops are really dangerous. It matters where you register the truck. So it's like a car. You could buy it anywhere. And if you save enough, you just fly out to the truck and drive it back. Do I still need keys to crank up the truck, or have they gotten like cars? I haven't seen any push-button semis yet. I'm surprised that we don't have that. There may be some, none that I know of. Does anybody have a push-button truck? And I agree, the car, right, the wife's car, push-button start for sure. I don't know why the semis don't do it yet. We never landed on the flat moon. That's what people say. Right, flat. We did not land on a flat moon. You're from Savannah and it's just as bad there. That's sad. I mean, you can't go into a truck stop without being mugged or whatever, and people are stealing stuff from your truck. That's just crazy. Tobacco leaves are like women. They smell good. They're bad for you. Well, I don't know about that. Right. Married a long time here. So you can save a lot of money by titling and registering your truck in Texas. They have no vehicle property tax. Yeah, you'll have to, you could talk to Trooper about that. I don't know how to register out of state or whatever as a company driver. I'm sure there are ways to do it. East Dallas is bad too. That's ridiculous. Oh, Kim got on I-80, almost to Rollins soon. A while, actually, from Salt Lake there. Those does not do cash back. All right, so they should. Probably because they could charge out of the ATM, and so they don't do it. But why don't they do it like a regular Walmart or whatever? Jeez. Do I drive back to the West Coast? I do not go to the West Coast. The moon is a cone. In a cone shape? Oh, you wouldn't see the back of it, I guess, if it never pointed at us. That's interesting. You hear West Memphis is bad. So many trucks have gotten killed. I don't know about getting killed there, but it's always been a hot spot for many years of crime. I know some large companies won't allow their drivers to park at the truck stops there. They like ban West Memphis, and that really says something. You had fuel stolen at the J at Bonneview Road in Dallas. So how do they get it out of your truck if you have those siphon things? Like my truck has got those things in there that won't let you siphon out of the... you can't siphon fuel out of tank. Montana's no property tax. Some people register their supercars in Montana. I was considering that, except I don't have a supercar, so I can't do it. So, okay, W, thank you. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for coming in today. And we'll see you Monday, of course. Maine, yeah, Maine has something with the trailers. A lot of the trailers say permanent Maine. They have a plate from Maine. Workman's Truck Stop in Arkansas charges $15 for Thanksgiving dinner. No buffet. They should give it out free that day to be thankful for the drivers. How am I going to get my RFID implant to work? Once it's turned on, I'll let everybody know. A driver was killed at the chicken place across the street from the Petro in Atlanta. What was he doing over there? I mean, crazy. Any large city would probably be bad, right? Tom Jones. That's interesting. Thanks for the chat. Yes, thank you. Thanks, and thanks for coming in on Thanksgiving. I appreciate it. Why is it back in the day, truckers had multiple license plates? Oh, right. We had to get registered in every state. You had a bingo card, which was a card, you know, the size of this, basically a little smaller. And it had little stickers for each state. But some states also required you to have a plate on it. So the truck might have 6, 8 license plates, be a bunch of stickers on it, another plate with stickers, a card. It was a mess. The registration was a mess. They've solved all that for sure. You don't have to have any of that. A lot of UPS trailers have Indiana plates. I wonder why that is. I don't think we do any better here. There's tons of people here that register their cars out of state because the license plate for your car here at least is charged based on the year of your car and how much it cost new. It goes into a category. It's got a chart. And so depending on what it was, it's different things, and it goes down over 10 years. So people that get a newer car will register it in another state because they have a flat rate. As a car gets older, the plate goes down. You didn't think truck stops even gave Thanksgiving dinner? Yeah, a lot of them have it free today for drivers. Killer chickens, that's a problem. Like the one, like that big rabbit that chased Carter around. For all of you remember that? Some guys park in a lot to avoid paying. Yes, well, see, and there's the thing. The pay part should also come with security. England has trailers registered in Indiana. They have a headquarters, but they have a terminal here in Gary. Probably a tax incentive. Yeah, we might tax incentive. Indiana's cheaper than Illinois plate. I doubt that. Okay, the plates on the Escape were 200 and some bucks here in Indiana. So I don't know if your plates in Illinois are more than that. I don't think so. I'm glad we don't have to go through that anymore with licensed trucks. Oh my gosh, that was a mess with the license plates and the bingo. As a company driver, you didn't have to worry about it, but they had to have a bunch of people to make sure because they expired at different times and everything. It was a big mess. Indiana lets carriers put their logo on the tag. Yeah, you can get anybody in Indiana can get a specialty plate like that if they have 500 or more registered. So if you have 500 vehicles or you have 500 people that want the plate, they'll make a special plate for you. So Indiana has specialty plates with a lot of carriers because they have 500 or more registered vehicles. But for this U-Haul, this car plate, I think the plates are more in Indiana, especially on a newer car. That chicken place across from the Petro has a dive bar with a booty call place. Okay, they have a phone for that? Is there a phone on the wall for that? CR England, they are running some Western Stars. One of the drivers sent me a picture of his Western Star, which is a great looking truck. Right, I agree. Deregulation did get rid of all that plating between that and IFTA and everything. That changed the whole trucking industry. Hassan, exactly. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. Indiana puts a logo on the tags as theft prevention. Yeah, that's probably true too. But they do need a certain amount to get that on there. But I do agree, right? Ours are plated the same way. I've wondered if deregulation would have happened, would we still see cab overs? I don't think so. I mean, there's way more room in these trucks, and that was a length thing because they had a length limit. And as soon as they lifted the length limit on the vehicles, they started making these conventionals. So that was what that was from. The cab over and the deregulation were kind of two different things. The cab over was because of an overall length limit. So then it was 42 feet trailers, then we got 48, and now 53-foot trailers, and it changed 48 to 53 while I was driving. So. And we got into conventionals, so it was a length problem, I think, not a regulation, like a plating problem. Douglas, happy Thanksgiving. What's happening? What's my prediction on electric-powered tractors? I think they're a long way from being used any kind of widely because you have to have the recharging station set up at your terminal. You can't just charge those at just, pull a plug out. Because of the gigantic battery, you have to recharge them at your place. So it's going to be local companies like, say, Pepsi that delivers their own products. So that's how that is going to work. That'll be the problem with those kind of things. If deregulation never happened, we could have a trucker strike when we need one, maybe. But getting the drivers together to do it would be the bigger problem. So they talk about it. You could have one, but you wouldn't have one because people wouldn't do it. Have I heard CARB might stop enforcing DEF fluid due to the fluid causing cancer? That's interesting. They want the stuff, they get it, and then they stop enforcing it. That's really something. And I would be surprised if California ever stopped enforcing, because what are they going to do? They're going to say that the exhaust now is not something that, it's carcinogens in the exhaust because it doesn't have it. I hate Volvos because they don't have air horns. Yeah, they give the signal. You just got to hit the thing like you're in a car. It's kind of disappointing. You got smoked turkey from Rudy's Barbecue. Never heard of that place. Nice. CNG fuel islands are rare. Yeah, we have a natural gas here in Lafayette at exit 168. There's a natural gas fueling station. DD15 or ISX. I take the DD15 on that for the win. Would I say deregulation is good or bad? That's the reason mega cares. I agree, but we don't want the government setting our pay. So I'm all for deregulation. People can't come on here, in the industry and gripe about the government regulates too much and then say, well, we need to regulate. No, I don't think so. Now the pay is, set differently. Before, the government set your pay, and I'm not a fan of that. What's the difference? One is liquid natural gas, LNG, and one is not liquid. I'm not sure. What am I talking about? CNG. I thought it was going to be gas, right? One's liquid. I don't know. Let's be 100%. I'm not sure on it. ISX Performance Series. I still take my DD15. Black Smoke Mirrors compares their shutdown to the shutdown of the 70s. Yeah, that guy's, who knows what that guy's smoking by saying that. I don't think so. His 4-minute shutdown is the same as the shutdown of the 70s. He should crawl back into his cabin in the woods and stay there. CARB put a lot of small business out of the industry. Yes. CARB has been terrible for cars and trucks out there. Why do you have to make a special engine just for one state? Guess what? You're at Walmart and all their stuff is in little plastic boxes you can't open up without a magic wand. Yes, exactly. The EF is ammonia smelling. It's not 100%, but agree. Volvos need to go back to making air horns. They don't put air horns. Well, you know, we have air horns on the truck, but you can't see them. Volvos have air horns under the hood. You press the air horn button, it's loud. That's the problem. We can't get together. Any bozo can get a DOT number, drive a truck, and run any route. That is true. But if it was limited, everything would cost more, and people's pay was inflated artificially by the government. So we don't want the government to artificially inflate your pay by reducing competition. Do they still make Wabash trailers in Lafayette? Heck yeah, man. It's the second or third largest employer. I think it's the second largest employer in the whole county here. And they crank a ton of them out. They're parked all over town. They have parking lots everywhere. There's a lot, one of them, which I just went by, is full of JB Hunt trailers. So if anybody is out there driving for JB Hunt, you're about to get a new trailer because they must have 1,000 of them out in the lot out here that they just made, and put them out there in the lot. So cattle haulers are the last of the outlaws? Maybe. What's the next company that's doing it right? We don't know that yet. Today is a holiday, so the show was put off for the live show today. We're too spread up to get together like UPS. Well, UPS has a union and they do stick together, and we see what happens. When people stick together, they get a pay raise or basically get most of what they want. If drivers did that one company at a time here, you'd change the whole industry. That's how you have to do it. You can't get the whole trucking, but you do it one company at a time. You strike one company at a time until you get the industry changed. It would not take long. Swift didn't change their logo, but they have this diamond thing on their truck and everything. Weird. Does Walmart still use Wabash trailers? I think they buy a lot of different kind of trailers to save money. Corporate trucking isn't inflating our wages. I would take it from wherever I could get it. Well, you would get a pay raise, but it's artificial. A JB Hunt and BNSF are in arbitration. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Probably somebody didn't pay somebody, and now they have a problem. Because JB Hunt is like a ton of containers now. Cattle haulers and dump trailers. When I pulled dump trailers, he was always overweight, dodgy CLs. Nice. Yeah, that's an outlaw, all right. Feather lights are nice. Tyson Chicken, you think is doing it right? What do you think about that? You put that out there. What are two things that they're doing better than other people in the industry? Like a detention or their mileage pay to start. What is Tyson Chicken doing right better than other places? Other than not charging you for fuel in the company truck like some places do. Is Rowe Equipment in Lafayette a good place to have a gear change for my axle? I don't know. Because as a company driver, I wouldn't want to send you to a place. I don't know what kind of work they do. So I'm not sure. Tom Ross. Any reply from Vera? No. Happy Thanksgiving to you. They have a video where they weren't too happy about the crab company. Is it new? They did a dancing video like a week ago or so, maybe a few days. If there's a new one, I'll have to go check it out. If it's a direct reply, that would be awesome. We could have like a YouTube fight of videos. Because when you look them up on YouTube, my video comes up. So they should consider that and maybe write to me and let's talk. How did Western get to be so big since they started out in the 90s? And they filled a niche and that's it. They got drivers and off they go. Just keep filling trucks with drivers. And they got money to get the equipment out there. That's how you do it, right? What do I think about utility trailers? Always seem like they're the most customized ones. Well, I don't know that much about them. Other than what they give me to run. Most of ours are Hyundai trailers here. Well, ironically, now that I guess I'll get a Hyundai Semi to pull them around. If they're customizable and you need something specific, I'm in, right? I didn't have much time. I got to get my girl a bolt seal before they finally arrives. All right. Yikes. I never heard of Vera Hut. They're a pretty big place. The next day one was parked next to you. Yeah, they follow you around. Once you watch the video, they know who watches it and they follow you around. Two better things about the company. President here gets dirty, changes tires. Okay. They spare no expense to see we aren't driving junk. That's good. You should get a new decent truck to drive. You should have a good paycheck to go along with it, for sure. Yes, I put the link. It's called We Don't Believe in. Yeah, that's the one that they put out before, right? That has like 9 views or whatever. I totally agree. I agree, Pete, that that's their first aerodynamic try at trucks. They call that the Fleet, Pete, because Star and Red Star, some other places bought that truck. True Crap Company of the Week show is long overdue. Wish they had that in the 98. Yeah, there was... No, there wasn't YouTube yet, right. So, we're doing the best we can here today. Pete should have a 387. You like the way they look? Well, we'll give that to you, right. We started live feed in Louisiana, just past Birmingham, and to be run out of flat Earth before the end. Well, the only reason you still get to go because the Earth's so big, right? But it's still obviously you're still going in one direction, right? You haven't come back around. That's how we know it's obviously flat. I mean, your driving is proof, scientific, conclusive proof right there. I'm going to submit that to the magazines. Have I heard of Godfrey Trucking? Yeah, I've heard them mentioned. I don't know that much about them. What do you hear about them? It's snowing all over the place going up these mountains in Salt Lake City. What's up with that? Are the chain signs out? Oh, for Wyoming? Ooh, are we chaining Wyoming up? Oh my gosh, get a video of that. Nilam, thank you for coming. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in. As long as the car gets older, the plate doesn't go down much. But you buy a used Lincoln Town Car, somebody else already used the luxury out of it. You're still paying a high license plate. Look, in Indiana, at 10 years, your plate is $57.50. This is for a car plate. But the newer your car is, the more the plate. The Escape's in the several $100 range plate, okay? And it's 3 years old still. But at 10 years, you're at the minimum here. But if you're buying a town car, yeah, it's already old. They haven't made them for a long time. But for people that buy newer cars, the plates in Indiana are expensive. From a young age, I always liked the Peterbilts. Yeah, as a little kid, go for it. But if you're buying the fuel, you're not going to like it as much as something that gets better miles. In Georgia, it's $20 after 10 years. Nice. Nice. Do you have a front plate in Georgia? Because we can put whatever we want on the front of the truck, for sure. Or your car, right? You can put whatever you want in the front. In Arizona, your car's worth $13, but the plate costs $350. All right. In Indiana, it doesn't matter what it's currently worth. It matters what model year it is and what it cost new, MSRP, not what you pay for it. It has no bearing on what you pay for it. Doesn't make any difference. And it goes into one of 10 categories. So right from when it's new, and it stays in that and goes down on a chart through its first 10 years to the lowest cost license plate. That's how we do it here in Indiana. And the most you can pay for a plate is $500 here. Your company doesn't let you carry chains, and they tell us to pull over if there's a chain law. But you're 50 miles away from the Wyoming border, and you can already tell they got the chain law nice. You know, you should have chains on the truck. You should have, because there are places where you have to carry chains. So I would have the chains on there. They could say don't use them or whatever, and I agree with that. You know, but there might be a time when you need to throw a chain on to get out of a truck stop or whatever, where one chain is the difference between you getting out and you calling a tow truck. So they should give you at least enough chains to pass a chain law where they require carry, and at least you should have a couple to put on to get out of a spot or something like that. That's what I think. You also use like a long W900, so you drove one with a gigantic wheelbase on a 40-foot spread axle. Yes, backing is a problem. That's the other problem. And that's a gigantic wheelbase, too. What the heck is up with that? Illinois plates are $120 for... see, that's way less than I'm paying here for a plate. And I think that's why people plate their cars out of state. Most smaller fleets run older trucks. And large fleet runs new truck. They can't afford them. So it depends what you want. Atlanta has chain laws? I don't think so. I don't think they have any kind of chain laws in Atlanta. Maybe just to get you out of, away from that booty call place we talked about. Indiana does not require you to carry chains. How about snow socks? You know, I was surprised. I thought that they didn't pass as chains, but apparently they do. And so that qualifies apparently as chains as well. I've never used them. All right, so I don't know. They look like they're probably easier to put on than a set of chains. The long wheelbase rides smoother. Oh, yeah, right. It's great for cruising down the road, but not if you got to back it in somewhere. Chain law is in effect in Arizona. Oh, really? Snow? What, Flagstaff? We're snowing up in Flagstaff now? You worked for Werner. They only use Wabash trailers. They must have a deal where they go, we'll buy 80 billion trailers if you give us $10 off each one or something like that. Worst fuel mods would be 3.3. That's a long time ago. If you're getting 3.3, you might as well hang it up unless you're hauling Ferraris around that pay $6 a mile. You're never going to make any money. You're getting out of the company soon. You want to go to Cohen because they have those strips down to lightweight Pete's. And they don't have the sides on it. All right, yeah, get out of there then. But I still think you should have chains on there. Snow socks work. Got to take them off once the road is bare. Yes, you should take your chains off too because you can't get any speed going. But right, I assume they would wear out. It's like running winter tires and it's dry all the time. What do I think about Knight? I think that the payoff for the truck school has always bothered me. That you have to pay the truck school back over 2 years of time. That, for the first year you pay them and then the second year they pay you back. I'm not really a fan of that. When did the trend of ripping up drivers become standard practice? Always. It's always been that way. What is considered good for fuel mods? I don't know about mods. If the earth was flat, I could drive on water. No, you still can't drive on water because the water is deep. It's flat, but that doesn't mean it isn't thick. That's two different things. It's super thick, it's just super flat. Snow stocks don't work in British Columbia. Do they not allow them in Canada? They may have different laws there. Atlanta has chain laws on 285 directly after a snowstorm. That's really something. So what would you do there without any chains at all? I guess you would have a problem. You wouldn't be able to drive. But I guess they say they don't want you doing it. Was trucking really better back in the day? No, it's better every day that we go forward. The trucks are better. It's always, forward is always better. That's why the windshield is large and the rearview mirror is small. Right? Always forward is also the way to look. Looking back, right, is always, the rearview mirror doesn't give you the actual picture of what you're seeing back there. It always changes over time. We always put way more to the back than we should have. Did I used to drive a cab over? Yes, I had several cab overs, international and Freightliners. I didn't mind them. You could park them anywhere, for sure. But there's not the room in them that you have now. And you used to sit down in a little compartment before the flat floor. You were like in a little pod with all the buttons surrounding you. So yes. And you had to climb up a ladder to get in it. Right, okay, right. Park at the dread diaper. You don't want to park over there. Even while you're waiting, Hassan, while you're waiting for the chain thing. No. What do I think about Schneider? I think they have a lot of different opportunities, which is what I've talked about. In that if you don't like what you're doing, there's something else to do there. So it's not like you have to quit. You can go, I want to do a tanker. You can go do that. I want to go dedicated. Every one of these mega carriers where people write to me and they're on a dedicated run, that seems to be where people are the most satisfied. So I would recommend looking into a dedicated run there as well. The people that write to me on over the road at any of these large companies are way less satisfied than people that are on a dedicated run. I'd recommend getting that if you could. Trucking might be better today, but it was more fun 20 years ago. I don't know. Maybe. It's no different. I mean, I see it as an occupation. So I just think it gets better. The equipment certainly gets better every time you go. They allow the snow socks in Canada, but the snow is different in British Columbia than it is in other places with snow. They get their own snow in Canada too. So it's like they get it all. They have a queen and they get different snow. That's amazing. Georgians put up chain laws when they have bad storms. Really? I think that should be standard, like triangles. I've never really seen a road truck that doesn't have chains hanging on it. I'm very surprised of a long truck that doesn't have chains hanging on it. Long distance truck. You're getting 7. That's not terrible anymore. Prime lost their dedicated Walmart account. That's no good. All those drivers will have to go back over the road in their lightweight Prime trucks with their tiny sleepers. Can I do a video about people that work at the truck stop? Yeah. I don't think so. I enjoyed trucking when pulling dump trailers, but dry van is boring and don't want to start over in another field. Flatbed's a lot more work. Bar None doesn't have chains. They don't have chains on their trucks. That's hard to believe. You know, do they not run out west? I know they didn't hire everywhere. Any company that runs west and doesn't have chains hanging on their truck, that's very surprising to me. I guess they just don't have you run in areas where they're required to be on the truck. I don't understand it, though. Should at least have a couple of singles, at least, to get you out of a truck stop. Maybe one set of doubles and two singles. Well, 80 West, somebody spun out going up the mountain and they're blocked. Oh, well, that's the end of your day. You get to park there. Somebody's not chained up, I guess. The truckers say trucker was better back in the day is because of regulation. Yeah, they made more money, but they were making it artificially. The same drivers that don't like regulation enjoyed regulation. So you can't have it both ways. If you don't want regulation, you have to say, I don't want regulations. You don't know what's going on. You have a 2018 International, but now your engine is smoking. That's awesome. What's the temperature out? You're probably just blowing some steam out of there, so I wouldn't worry about that. A lot of drivers don't know how to chain up. That is correct. They should be shown how to chain up. I agree. When I do the crap company of the year, how about I get a statue with a turd on top? On my blog, which I'll put out here now, at truckinganswersnation.com, I write a blog. If you don't read it, you should go over there and read it. If you'll go to the blog and go back, it's a few weeks now, so go back through. And I have a picture of the trophy there that they're going to get. I couldn't find one with poo on it. So I do have a trophy picture there that you can check out, and that's what they're going to get. And I have to wait to order it because I need to have it engraved with their name. Of course, I want it to be, professional looking with their name and everything. So you can go over there and just scroll back, and I don't know how, it's been a while, a few weeks probably, and you'll see a picture of it in my blog. It's at 10th Gear blog. Nice. It was probably because you could run multiple logbooks. Now with E-log, yeah, but you shouldn't be cheating. You should make enough money in a day, right? Let's be honest about that. And 14 hours should be plenty of time in a day to make a living. Let's be honest. If you have to cheat and work more than that, it's no good of a job. Auto drivers don't know how to go down the steps here in Utah. I agree. They can't go up, and you shouldn't be getting stuck. You shouldn't be doing any of that stuff. You'll donate towards a turd trophy. Believe me, it's not that expensive of a trophy. We're not going all in on it like that. But you'll see the picture of it there, and see what you think. Just scroll back. It's a ways back. It's a ways back. Have any companies made changes due to my videos? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Nobody has said anything like they are going to. So no. It's unfortunate. But I will say that people write to me, which I'm very pleased with, that said because of the video they're not going to work somewhere. And that is the idea. I want to get that out there for people to see that, oh, this place doesn't pay, and so they shouldn't actually work there. And so I'm doing good on that, at least. That's the whole goal of it, is to let people get a better place, to help people. Would I recommend Dart Trucking? You get their ads. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked into Dart. You would die laughing if they showed up and gave a speech. Yeah, well, you'd be surprised at what they might actually do. Tom Jones will second that. The trophy is not going to be a huge expense. It's not some kind of marble carved thing or whatever. This is my best live feed? Yes. This is Marty. Well, thank you. This is certainly my best Thanksgiving live feed, for sure. Kimmy at 200. Nice. What about Jim Moyes, the Swift CEO? He's not the CEO anymore, right? Didn't he get booted out or quit or something? Something happened to him. He's not... When they got bought out, right? Maybe he's like some figurehead. Not sure. Has Werner made it to the crab company? No, not yet. They haven't made it yet. Should they be in the running, and what do you think about the place? What do you say about Werner? I get mixed results from people that write to me about it. A lot of the places are, nominations from people that have written into me. So that's, that's for sure. Can I do a video about Estes? Estes will take students, they will take experienced drivers, and they have terminals around. So I will look into them, but I do know they'll take everybody, and the pay there is relatively good from what I've seen. They'll call security on me. Yeah, it depends where we do this. Like I said, if they're going to be at the truck show in March, they're getting it live at the truck show. There's nobody to call there. Last year, there were 70,000 drivers there. So what are they going to do? Be rude in front of everybody? Because I hope if we do it live there, many of you that are there will come with me to their booth for the presentation, and we can all film it together because I'll be live as well. So what are they going to do in front of 100 cameras? Yell at me or throw things at me? Throw their roller wieners at me? I don't think so. They're not going to do anything. That they're going to accept their trophy graciously. Hopefully they'll be there. So we'll see here in just a few weeks. The voting will begin in just a few weeks. But otherwise, they may accept their trophy anyway. We'll see how that goes. I'll ask a representative to show up. You've heard some drivers say Werner is bad. Yeah, it varies. Swift tossed a $50 million lawsuit, then when they merged, so the official name is Knight-Swift. That's what Prime did too. What's the official name of Prime? New Prime Incorporated. Exactly. That's their legal name. People call it Prime. It's New Prime. New Prime. Werner started the electronic logs. Nice. I don't know if it's for safety. I feel like I don't have to work as much. That's for sure. John Krishner advertised $1.05. That's no good. That would have to be for an owner-operator. You're not getting any $1.05 as a company driver. Swift has 30 different DOT numbers. Yeah, they have to for all the lawsuits, right? Look out for Rotten Tomatoes. You're coming up. Yeah, that's good. Bring them. They might sue me for defamation. Well, how am I defaming anybody? I'm giving them a trophy. Where will the polls be to vote? The poll will be right here. I'll announce it, and I'll put a web page up on my website, and you'll be able to vote right there, or you'll be able to write in, to my email, mark@truckinganswersnation, and it will be voted based on the companies that have been Crap Company of the Week. So when the voting begins, and that's how we'll do it, and that's what it'll be. We got a few more weeks, though. It's only November. They have 3 Estes lightweights sitting in a parking lot next to a FEMA trailer for 2 weeks now. I haven't seen them move. They probably need drivers for them like everybody does. Oh, and you'll also need an ID to vote because we do real ID, of course. just like everybody else does, right? Tom Jones, yes, that'll be just a couple weeks away. It's been great, and we're going to do one every year. So maybe twice a year, maybe so that there's not too many, but at least every year. You're slipping going up the mountain. Well, we got the inner axle locked in, hopefully. It's got to be Stevens. Oh, it can't not be them. Well, we'll see who people want. And then after the vote, I will say who I think it should be, who I would like to see it be. I'm not going to get to vote, but all of you will be able to vote. Hassan, exactly. The diff should be locked in. Lock that in. Throw a chain on the ground. Kim doesn't have any chains. Estes just runs day cabs. No, Estes runs sleepers as well. So no, they also have military. I saw that as well. Because a lot of people write to me, if you have military experience, Estes does do stuff with that too. Prime Swift Werner should be terminated, dispersed and wiped out. Wow. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger-ish right there. That would free up a lot of freight, that's for sure. A lot of 80-cent freight that would have to go up in price. Cam says it's easy money. Yeah, the hill's easy money getting up there. You've seen Estes run a freight like Columbia. You don't think they run 2018s? They have newer trucks. They don't just run old trucks. And in 18, you can get an Evolution, a Cascadia or a Cascadia Evolution. And they're both 2018s. So the new Cascadia has the new lights, but the Evolutions still have the old lights. Ryan, oh yeah, I think your rates would go up. They do. Large companies like that hold rates down because they have so much of the market, and it allows them to reduce prices across the entire market. I totally agree with you. Do a video on Central. They're part of, or used to be part of, Swift, if we're talking about the yellow trucks. What do I think about TSMT? I think it better pay good, right? Tri-State, explosives, that kind of thing. It needs to pay good. And a lot of teams there because of the freight that they haul. And you're going to need a hazmat for sure at that place. Swift has to be number one because of all the crashes. Well, they're number one in crashes because they have so many drivers. So the more drivers you have, the more accidents you have. I mean, let's give them that. A guy with 4 trucks is not going to have as many accidents as Swift. Estes runs trucks, even owner-op. Yeah, they have different kinds of... they do a lot of stuff. It's not just day cabs. You see their day cabs, but they have sleepers, teams, and everything. I totally agree. Oh, drivers are just sitting in the trucks for days? Well, if they're getting paid, it's okay. You have a 2019, but it's the older hood. So you have an Evolution, which is the what I call the older body, but it's still a new truck. But you didn't get the lights. It was well worth the lights in the Cascadia, just for those LED lights. Can I do a video on R+L? I've recommended R+L to people. And see, R+L, you know, is like all these other places. They seem to pay different in different spots. So depending where you are, you know, the pay is not the same, where they have this pay that is spread out around the country. I would recommend calling them for sure. Rail takes thousands of jobs. We talk about autonomous. Yeah, rail does take a lot of the jobs. It wiped out a lot of the long distance trucking for sure. Central is owned by Swift. That's what I thought. No point in making their carrier crap every week if they don't exist. Nice. Benny Hill theme song is great for watching Swift backing jobs. Yeah, if you can add that into or have it in the background when you're watching their videos of Swift crashes, absolutely. It's hard to understand how they gripe about trucking pay when they don't want to actually do anything but hold a steering wheel above a dock. They want to drop and hook at $80,000 a year. Well, I mean, how much should that pay? I mean, I'm not unloading a trailer. You're not going to find me unloading a trailer, and I expect to get paid good money. Because when I bring a truck out, it's going to get to the destination. So, yeah, you got to pay me. Absolutely, right. I think large companies are good for rookies because of their infrastructure. But get your experience and leave. Or move on to a dedicated run. Many, many people write me from these large companies that are on a dedicated account or dedicated run and love it. And love it. Can you still get a large drop-down sun visor? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what large might mean to you. It's the same sun visor that the other one had, as the Evolution had. So I'm not sure. Oh, you're talking on the outside one of those big ones? Probably. You probably can attach it if that's something you want to do. I never understood blocking the windshield out, though. Any thoughts on Mercer? Mercer owner-operator company? So no, haven't looked into Mercer. Owner-operators are harder to do because a lot of whether you make money, part of it is how much your expenses are. Some guy that, or person, right, that doesn't have a truck payment and gets 8 miles to the gallon has a lot different outlook than somebody who's paying $1,000 a week and gets 7 miles to the gallon. So a lot of an owner-operator company is what are your expenses going into it as a business owner? Because remember, you're a business owner then. That's how it has to work. You have to always remember that. I've not done a video on Yellow, but I would recommend them. They hire students, train you and everything, and it's got to be good pay at a union company. You should put the Benny Hill song when you back up sometimes. Yikes. Anybody that says they back perfect every time, look, nobody gets it perfect every time. For sure. Nobody claims that, I don't think. Or they shouldn't. If you're independent, isn't pretty much guaranteed to load it? No, absolutely not. Just because you're independent doesn't mean you load and unload. No way. Stephen, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for being here today. Well, the reason drivers get those big drop-down sun visors is to make their trucks look mean. Well, okay, the truck looks mean. I don't understand it, I guess. I guess I don't understand what difference that makes. Mercer's flatbed, yes. Mercer runs flats. They have a lot of super sleepers, so they make good money. I don't know. The person may live in that truck, right? What's the best way for a crack-on driver can get into trucker? You have a class A and you drive for the Hound? Yeah, same as everybody else then. They probably won't accept your experience. Oh, you know, what would you write down for that? Well, you've only driven the bus, so you'll probably have to get at least a refresher course and get into trucking like everybody else. You already have your license. So you're a step ahead of having to go to truck school at least. They'll give you some kind of course and off you go like everybody else, for sure. And you could drive yourself to the orientation, which is pretty convenient. So, some drivers can back up trailers perfect sometimes. Everybody backs it up perfect sometimes. And then sometimes it just doesn't go right. The question is, can you fix it and not hit anything? That's the whole goal, right? You actually enjoyed working for Werner because of the infrastructure? Yes. They have stuff to do, but the pay isn't any good. That's a lot of these places. All right, Kim, great. So we're moving. Get back down and keep rolling. It takes more than 2 pull-ups to get in a parking spot. I asked if they want a ground guide. Yikes. Most of the time, the young drivers are overwhelmed and happy. All right. Would you like a ground guide? That's interesting. You had trouble backing up in 93. See, that's proof right there that people are not perfect. BMW had problem in 93. Slipping up a mountainside. Hopefully it's voice activated. Let's see. CRST is the worst carrier to join. I wouldn't recommend it for sure. Not 3 to a room, bedbug city, team training, non-compete. No good. You back into a tight spot easier, but in an open spot, you're all over the place. Yeah, it's the hardest to back them when they don't have a line on the ground. And you're trying to get lined up into a dock that they haven't marked out. And you're like, oh, I'm all great. You get out of the truck, you're like, crap. So you're 4 feet off on one side. Yep, exactly. Working for Kroger here is good. There's a Kroger 85 miles from me or so, and it's run out of here by Quickway, and it pays good. They advertise good pay, $1,200 or something minimum, home every day. So yeah, the Kroger here seems to pay excellent. Not hitting things is the goal, and the end of a long and prosperous career should be the whole time of not hitting things. I totally agree with that, because that's the whole idea. So if you got to pull up a couple times, you got to pull up. If you have to pull up 12 times every time you back in, you may want to, concentrate more on what you're doing. But yeah, everybody pulls up and stuff. That isn't any problem. Aren't drivers so skilled they can back a 50-foot trailer blindsided without having to get out? Yeah, look, blindsiding, I tell people blindsiding and regular sight side, as they call it, is the same. Set it up, and it goes in there. But you have a power mirror now, so you can just use the mirror and you still see what you're doing. It's not super complicated. People make it blindsiding harder than it really is. It's the same as the other way. Set it up and you got it. Truckers need to help each other instead of staying there laughing at the poor Swift driver trying to back up. It's funny, but after 5 minutes, I agree. You should only after 5 minutes of laughing, then we can go and assist. Some people don't tell you to go, blank yourself, though. So they can just sit there for the rest of their days, then. You help other drivers back into spots so they don't hit your trailer. So it's kind of self-preservation. You figure, well, they're going to hit me anyway, so I might as well get out and help them. And then ask them if they're going to be there the whole break, and then you're safe for the rest of the night. Do you think any recruiters are working today? Probably not. I would say probably not. It's probably worth a call if you want to call one, but I don't think anybody's on today. Lauren, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in today. You can blindside without looking, but I can't see immature. Get out and look. Yeah, look, if you can't see, look. But the power mirror has been a boon to blindsiding. I still recommend you not blindside unless you have to. I always stress that with students or really everybody. Do not blindside unless it's 100% necessary. And really, very few times do you have to blindside. You usually can do it, it's worth going down and coming back the other way. Even if that takes a little longer, it's safer. For sure, it's safer. Only blindside if it's necessary. When you become a truck driver, you're never parking next to a Swift driver. Well, look, they're not all, I can't hate on all Swift drivers. Some drivers there are very good, I'm sure, just like every company, because they have a lot of accidents. Some of them are going to be good. One of them said diamond driver on his truck. I wonder what that meant. Anybody seen the diamond on the Swift trucks? What's that all about? Professionals aren't afraid to ask for help. I agree. I would tell you I don't like people to help me because I'm still ultimately responsible for backing the truck in. That's how I take it. I've been at a dock and some goober off the dock, oh, I'll back in him. No. right? I'm like, no, because ultimately, if you have an accident or something happens, that's still you that has to back in. So I back in. I'll get out and look and do it myself because if they're going like this and then you hit something, they're like, oh well, whatever, right? It's still you. So ultimately, you still have it on you. You're staring at my office right now and nobody is home. Yeah, you're going to be staring for a while, I think. Why don't trucking companies install backup cameras? They have them inside the new trailers. Yeah, I think cameras are going to come. But then nobody's going to get out and look. You're better off getting out and looking and figuring it out rather than watching a camera on the back of a trailer. CR England is worse than Swift. It's worse than Swift for their orientation stuff for sure. Swift drivers don't believe in the flat earth. Well, forget them. How could they not believe in it when they're driving on it? I don't understand it. How do you not believe in something that has been scientifically proven on this very show today? We're doing good work here. Look up Super Trucker Dan on YouTube as a Mercer driver. All right. Yeah, Diamond Driver means biggest brown nose. That's interesting. I never saw it. I'm like, Diamond? What does Diamond Driver mean? Probably means he's been there like a week. Oh, you're a Diamond now. Diamond on Swift is a safe driving award. What do you get? What do you have to do to get that? Driven Trucking Channel is also Mercer. So there's Mercer drivers out here. Do I work in dry van, reefer, flatbed? I do dry vans now, but I've done all those. And what do I recommend for you? I don't know. Dry van's the easiest and there's the most of it. If you want to get some exercise, go get a flatbed. You know what I'm saying? Reefer always got me the longest miles. So, but dry van, there's the most freight. Because it's just the most populous, but then there's the most sitting. You're staring at the office till 4, that's when the bar opens. Oh, are you in Atlanta at the booty call place? Are Swift drivers always the ones to take down mailboxes? Not always. I mean, there's other companies that take down mailboxes. We can't just blame that all on Swift. Plus, you shouldn't be driving down a road that's got a bunch of mailboxes that you can take out, I guess. I guess country roads or whatever have boxes on them. It's mostly because the driver's tired from over 10 hours. And they're not on their game. Yes. If you're tired, park. No matter how long you've been driving. You don't want an accident ruins careers. CR England has the highest hit ratio. That could be. I mean, Swift has the most accidents because they have the most trucks. But that doesn't mean that they are the worst company. I'll give one Werner runner-up number 1 instead of number 2. Okay. You liked working at Werner when you're there. They have a lot of miles, but get you really nice equipment, take care of the trucks, and they just don't pay well. So it's a good place to get started, get your experience, and move on. Hey, hello. What's going on in Omaha today? Did the weather clear in Omaha yet? Your school teacher was wrong about 2 things. Earth is not round, obviously. And you can make money staring out the window. Exactly. Exactly. You can look out the window at how flat everything is. No accidents on time offs. Yes. Oh, no accidents, on-time drop-offs, and on-time pickups is Diamond. Oh, nice. Well, I've only seen 1. So what does that say? So they have 1 driver that is on time with no accidents. Okay. Reefer's best because you can get dry loads too. Yes, I agree. Your company can get you either one in there. Plus, you could turn it on in the summer, which is what I recommend when it's really hot. Turn it on a half hour before you get somewhere to 50 degrees. And then say, hey, why don't you load me? It's 50 degrees in my trailer. It works. It really works. Don't the guys who drive the Trick Out Customs and Peterbilt tend to be better drivers? They would have to be, just to get their truck around. In truck school, your student hit a homeless man's shopping cart while turning. Huh. What happened? You damaged the cart, and I bet that surprised him. Jeff, hey, what's happening? Howdy over there. Evan, Frank's favorite Thanksgiving pie flavor? We're sticking right with the pumpkin for sure. Standard, just the standard pumpkin pie. Werner gets the urine award. What the? Hopefully that doesn't go on a trophy. Oh, it's 50s there in Nebraska. Nice. Do I know anything about Grand Island Express? No. You saw Diamond truck, so there's 2. Maybe it's the same driver. You saw the same driver I saw. Always coast on the mountain in neutral. Yes, especially in the snow, because then you don't get the traction problems. So when you go down the mountains in the snow, neutral only, you get the best of fuel mileage. Really, if you turn the truck off, that's even better. But then you get good fuel mileage, and you don't have to worry about the tires, whatever, catching on the snow. You give the other truckers a mon back quite often, Roger Penske says. The homeless guy cursed him out, and his can slipped everywhere. Dang it. Did they get out and give him like $3 for all those cans? Grand Island Express has $7 million punitive judgment against it. Great. For a crash where the driver was on the cell with the office. Was he holding the phone? Because it's not illegal to be on your cell phone. Only if you're holding it. So he must not have had a headset on. You've seen Diamond Trucking, LTL. Yeah, that's different. Some Swift trucks have a diamond on them, and it said Diamond Driver. And I'm like, what the heck is a Diamond Driver? How do you get that? Who's given that award out? But apparently, if you just don't run into anything and are on time, which is what you should be doing anyway, you can get a Diamond Award. But since most of the trucks don't have that award on them, probably nobody there is getting that award. Pocono, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming in. Diamond drivers are the million-mile drivers. Oh, really? So that's why we don't see it. Nobody at Swift's got 1,000,000 miles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Diesel Trucker. We're finding out ourselves here. The only one, you only saw one, and it was an international. Yeah, I've only seen the one also, and I thought, what the heck is this? So if you get 1,000,000 miles at Swift, you get a diamond? Bundy, exactly, Bundy, right. Your backing is perfect, and you're lying. Right. Nobody's a zero pull-up, 100% of the time. Let's just be honest about that. The goal, get in there without hitting anything. In a timely fashion. He had a headset. The fact that he was on the phone was enough for the jury. Well, that's not really fair. I mean, it's not illegal to be on your phone when you're driving. But that's the problem with the jury verdict, I guess. So, that's why that driver that hit Tracy Morgan's bus was legal. That Walmart driver, he was legal on his clock, and he is in jail for that accident. So it can happen. Just because you're legal, I guess, doesn't mean that you don't have a problem. I was talking to a company similar to Tri-State, and they were paying 80 cents plus for teams, W-2. Yeah. Is that something you want to do? Do we want a team? That's the question. One of your aliases is One Swing Wild Bill. Is the money enough to make a team? It isn't enough for me. You don't know why Swift is staying at Swift long enough to... Yeah, who's staying there to get 1,000,000 miles? Swift Diamond at Ford is accident-free for a week. Yes, that sounds more like it. And that's why I only saw the one. So this driver was probably right at 7 days. They probably give you the sticker and tell you to put it on because they know by the time you got back to terminal, you wouldn't earn it anymore. You'd have to peel it back off of the truck. So it probably just goes on and just peels right back off. As soon as you have an accident, the cop probably take it off of you because they know better. Coming from someone who drove a custom long nose truck, turning it is okay, but it's hard to back it. I agree, right. Most times you just park on the side. Well, and these longer trucks stick out at the truck stop too. So somebody's coming by and you're sticking out 8 feet more than the person next to you. And that's another problem. You don't want somebody hitting or somebody that has to back around you. You're just risking an accident. You're really risking it. It isn't really worth it. You pay for monthly legal, find it to be good insurance. I have legal through my work, and I've paid for it for many, many years. And here at work, though, it's a little more than the regular legal plan where we can use a lawyer for whatever we want. So we've used them for different things, but it's also for tickets. I totally think every driver should have it. Because any ticket, you should fight it. 2,260 miles in 3 days. Man, you are rolling it. Hopefully legal. The trucker is always at fault. The public, I will agree, the public is already against you. So being on the phone doesn't help. Teams can make sense if you want to maximize earnings. Yes. Only if you're both clean and mature. They can work. Look, I'm not saying they can't work. I'm saying it's not for me. And I wouldn't care if that's at $1.80. I'm out. I'm not doing it. You can't money me into it. I'm not interested. I don't want to wake up dead, and be, like John McCain. I just don't want to do it. Do team drivers have to share the same coffee pot? Yes. And Porta-John, yes. Teams, that's a problem with teaming. You share literally everything. Like team showers. You've heard of that? That's exactly what it sounds like. And it's required. It's part of your CDL. Your stop, Monica, and napping, good. You drove 2 hours. Well, at least you're getting a nap in. Long base truck is good for flatbed as long as you don't want to turn it anywhere. The sticker's a magnet that just, yeah, probably in an accident it peels itself off. Long owner operator strike. They do. They have the W990, but still too big. A Team CRST crashed into a house after he fell asleep. They found out he was using both logs. I think that happens a lot. I think it happens a lot. And what about the person in the sleeper? That's got to be it. What if you woke up in a bedroom? That'd be somewhat ironic. What do I think the best tanker jobs are for new drivers? I'd like to see people go to Trimac, really. Am I into keto coffee? I'm not even into coffee, much less keto coffee. Don't really drink it. So, no. Or keto or any other type of coffee. You know, maybe head up to Starbucks every once in a while, but for something there, but I'm not a big coffee drinker. I know a lot of drivers go through pot after pot, but that's not my kind of thing for sure. The long wheelbase was good for dump trailers because it tipped over. Okay, right. So there could be a use, but your dump trailer is not 53 feet long either. Those dump trailers are shorter. So we have that. Dave said on smarttrucking.com, plug, that he was turning and a car tried to sneak past him in the middle of his turn and the trailer hit the car and the cop gave him a ticket. Yes, that's probably possible. And I don't know his situation, but when you turn, you can't leave room for a car. Period. Right? There can't be any room on that side for anybody to sneak in. So, you know, what happened? And so did he get a ticket? Yes. He hit the car. So, yeah, probably so. Total transportation qualifies. All right, Gilbert. What are 2 reasons total transportation qualifies for Crap Company of the Week? Keto's a good diet for truckers. You lost 50 pounds in 8 weeks on keto. I couldn't do it because I don't drink coffee. So, no keto coffee for me. But absolutely right. So, total I want 2 reasons why they are bad. And here we got another Mississippi. You know, these southern companies don't do great on this kind of stuff. He asked the cop, why am I getting the ticket when it was the four-wheeler, even though the cop said he's told to always give the trucker the ticket? I don't know. I don't think that's true. Drivers have these stories about that, you know, but I don't think a cop said I always give the trucker a ticket. I don't believe it. If Dave said it, it's not true. That's absolutely just not true. You know, people like to have these stories about the way it used to be and everybody's against you, but I just not haven't found that to be true. You know, I've gone all these years, I haven't have a ticket, and so I don't buy it. And I've had interactions with police or whatever, and they've been quite polite to me and professional. So, you know, to say I always give the trucker a ticket, I don't think so. I just don't buy it. The dump trailer was frameless and could tip over. Yes, right. Material to shift. Right, but with the long truck, which maybe is almost as long as the trailer, then it's for sure. Have I seen Smoking the Bandit? Yeah, who haven't seen Smoking the Bandit? If you haven't seen it, cut this right now. Go watch it. Keto diet in a nutshell. Steak and broccoli, bacon and eggs. How do you get that in your coffee pot? When that incident happened, there were 2 turning lanes. All right, so he should be watching the lane, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it. The car turned into him. I don't know. He fought it in court. Right, he should. Every ticket you should fight. They say the DOT is against truckers. I've been inspected. I'm sure everybody out here has been inspected. I've never had any problems with the DOT. They've always been professional. Part of it is the way you go in there and interact with them, you know, initially. Go in as a professional. If you go in in flip-flops and a tank top that needs to be washed, and you haven't had a shower, and you're like, hey, what's going on? What am I doing here? You know, and you don't know what you're doing. You know, be professional. You'll get that back, and they won't give you any grief about it. I've seen 3 or 4 Swift drivers. One of them was an owner-operator. That's something. How does a diamond owner-operator? Ooh, maybe they get paid extra. I hit a car? No, I have not hit anything. Accident-free. 3.5 million, and hope to keep it that way every day. You hear the DOT's against owner-operators? I just don't buy it. Be a professional. Everybody on here, if they've been driving any length of time, has been inspected. If you go in as, I don't say you have to wear a tuxedo every day, all right? But go in like you know what you're talking about. Actually know what you're talking about, and you won't have any problems with the DOT. And don't drive junk around that they're going to find a problem with also. So that's the other side of it. Do your pre-trip, be current on your logs, know what you're talking about. What are you hauling? Know what you're talking about. Here's the paperwork. Here's the permit, whatever it is you need. You know, that's going to get you way far when you're talking to a DOT. You always hear talk about how we need to go back to the old days. Yeah. Who says that? People that have no idea what they're talking about. Ask them, should they go back to no air conditioning and manual steering? I don't think so. Or air-operated steering? I doubt it. 42 cents a mile with hazmat. A week of vacation. That's low. Detention pay is after 2 hours, $12. So it's U.S. It's actually a little higher pay than U.S. Express. Ironically. That's still super low, though. What's more frustrating, waiting for a JB Hunt to pass or a Swift, or waiting for a Prime truck to stop, riding the middle? Both are equally horrible. Both of those drivers should be stopped, taken out of their truck, and beat mercilessly. I meant to say the EPA is against owner-operators. I don't know about that. I mean, at least they aggravate everyone equally, for sure. It is illegal. It is illegal. It is illegal to drive in the third lane or 3 or more lanes in the far left lane in Indiana, unless you are turning left, or it's an exit-only lane like in Indianapolis. On 465, as you come up to the 65 split going north on the west side, you have to be in the left lane to take the exit. But otherwise, you're not allowed in the third lane because it's a more than 2-lane road. Otherwise, you're only allowed in the left lane to pass. Dress shirt and slacks. Well, I mean, that's a bit much, but you can wash your clothes every once in a while and, you know, take a bath, you know, a shower. Total transportation is owned by U.S. Well, there's half their problem. They're bad because they don't answer the phone nice. Same problem that people complained about USA Truck or U.S. Express. Too many loads cancel. Most leases are a joke. Vec Kid, hey, hello. Happy Thursday, we'll say to you in the UK. I never move my mirrors because I haul wide loads and only have one little tiny spot where I could have it. Okay. I'm talking about power mirrors, though. If you leave Swift, you take your diamond with you. If you earned it, you probably could because you're probably the only one that's got it. How would that be? What would you put that down on your truck so you put that diamond on a different truck? Oh, I was a diamond driver at Swift before I came here. Here in DOT, Texas will stop you going down the road for no reason other than to inspect you. Tex, I've been inspected one time in my career, being pulled over and the guy coming up and saying, I pulled you over to give you an inspection. And that was in Wisconsin. So I'm sure it happens. And that's been one time for me, and it was not in Texas. 94 in Indiana towards Chicago is a madhouse every time you come through there. I agree. If you can't run 95 or so, 90, 95 miles an hour, it's a disaster. I used to live up there. I grew up in Hammond, Indiana, right off of there. Can you do a video on USA Truck? I already did USA Truck video. They were up just a few weeks ago, so that's awesome. Yeah, you would never admit you're Swift. That's the thing. I mean, I would only put on the resume, I'd probably put unemployed on there instead. Oh, what'd you do? Nothing. I wasn't even doing anything. You're better off with that than putting down, what are you going to put down, Swift Diamond Driver on your resume? Well, I was a Diamond Driver at Swift. The company's like, no thanks, and they're just going to not even hire you. So that's great. That's crazy. That isn't going to work out good. Ooh, I was a Diamond Driver. Do you bring it in the big diamond from the truck? Look, here was the diamond from my truck. Oh my God. Can anybody get me one of those? There are Swift drivers out there. Do any of you have or can get me a diamond? Send it to me. Oh my God. Email me and I'll give you the address. I don't have it off the top of my head. I have a box you can send it to. I will put that on the wall. If somebody sends me a Swift Diamond Award, that's going up here on the wall. So if somebody can get me that, Mark at truckinganswersnation.com. It's also in the description. And I'll get you an address. Send me that thing. Oh my gosh, I'll pay for it. I'll pay the shipping, whatever I got to do. Here in Texas, right, okay. I did the USA Truck a few weeks ago. Check that out. 700 miles in Flagstaff. Hopefully legal. And Overcast, I heard there was a chain thing. What's going on down there? Even in school, you knew to stay away from Swift. There are probably better options. I don't think that is worth bragging about if you're from Swift because drivers will make jokes. Yes, so you got 1 week of safe miles. Well, at Swift, that's pretty good. A whole week. Swift Diamond t-shirts would be a top seller. Oh, nice. Nice. I wonder how I can put that on there. I'm a Swift Diamond driver and you aren't. Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Let's think about that too. Yeah. I'm a Swift Diamond driver. No chain, independent. Okay. Okay, so legal because you're rolling then. Because the speed limit's higher, so you're rolling good. And I thought there was some kind of snow, but maybe not, right? You got pulled over by a city police officer. Says I'm going to get an inspection. He had no clue. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be DOT trained, right? Just any Yahoo can't inspect you. And so since he didn't give you a ticket, and the ticket wouldn't have been a DOT ticket because he's not officially trained DOT. So, but I wouldn't argue with him on the side of the road. I will tell you that. I would just let him do his thing. I talk about Western in the past, but can I do a video? Yeah, they're going to get their own video, and it might be on a Wednesday. So they'll be coming out. But they always get pushed back because I find something else. But they're going to have their day on the channel as well. And even though they're on TV for having great-looking trucks don't pay the bills. And I'll tell you, their pay is less than U.S. Express offered me. So keep that in mind. It's less than Western Express. I mean, less than Swift. So that's nothing to be proud of. Maybe you could be a diamond driver at Western Distribution. Wonder how many lokes I would get in a truck stop parking lot when drivers see with you. Yeah, that's going to be really something. I should consider that, right? The Earth sets on pillars. No, the Earth obviously is the center of the universe, and it's flat, and things all orbit around us. Have I driven to Canada? I did. I used to drive for 3M, which is the Post-it note people, and I had loads that went back and forth into Canada every week. And how it was great going into Canada, coming back here was bad. The only inspections, the only problems I got, and that was it. Coming back to the U.S., they were forever looking and stuff. But going into Canada, I didn't have really any issues. They just asked me if I had any cigarettes or firearms, and that's it. And they let me in. No problem. And all the places took the American money. It wasn't any problem at all. Now your phone works in Canada too. This is before cell phones, so I just had to yell. I had a bullhorn that I would yell back to my wife, and she usually couldn't hear me because it was 1,000 miles. But otherwise, yeah, no problems. Swift doesn't drug test because you have to be high to work there. Yeah, that's something. I think they probably do that. If I email you and tell me what company you work for, no. I just keep my company out of it. The Diamond Challenge has begun. That is for sure. Swift Diamond beats a diner's credit card. Yeah, I think you can walk into a truck stop with a gigantic diamond and get priority service. Swift unranked to Diamond video series. I think it's going to be great. I wish I could get a Diamond driver to talk to me, but they probably wouldn't lower themselves to speak on video. God says the Earth sets on pillars. That doesn't matter. We can obviously see that there's no pillars. We have satellites. So we see, obviously, that it's just flat. Does headlight illumination bad on trucks? Yes, on your '08 it does. I've talked about this before. Go get yourself a new Cascadia with the LED lights. Bingo. Night and day, literally. At night, it's like day because the lights are night and day. Total difference. Well worth getting the new truck just for the lights. Super great. I totally recommend it. Same on a car. Get the better lights. Always worth it. Always worth it. Chuck Norris can ride a wheelie on a unicycle. Wow. That's pretty good. Celadon gets the Public Hair Award letter, as we'll say. Right. Celadon didn't do great either. I mean, they're not another place. Trimac has driver cams. They do. Yes, they're Evans. Trimac has driver cams. In the U.S., they do. Canada, of course, because of the lawsuit, I don't believe they do. But here in the U.S., they're putting them in. If the truck doesn't have one, it soon will have it. And that's the way it is there. I mean, for the pay, absolutely. You got to decide it. Yeah, well, your buddy has cast-off trucks. Yeah, but I mean, so on your '08, yeah, you're going to have headlight problems. They're bad. But if you, whenever you get an upgrade, it is a huge difference. Worth it. Tell them it's worth it for the lights, for sure. GPS means ground positioning system invented by the military, right? So we can see where we are on the ground. Diamond driver's slow-moving vehicle, sign just glittery. I still want a diamond to go on the wall. You're going to make diamond t-shirt? I hit nothing today. Oh, that's nice. I didn't hit nothing today. That's very good. Celadon starting to lay off drivers. They sold a lot of stuff off. They've closed some of their schools at Celadon. They have a lot of financial problems, which you can look up and see. It's not just me saying that. And I would be very worried working there that at some point I'm not going to have a job. I'd probably leave just because of that. And if you work at Celadon, you don't have to believe me. Go just Google up Celadon financial problems and look at all the issues that they're having. It isn't small stuff. It's huge stuff. And it would worry me that someday I'm not going to get a paycheck or it's going to bounce. It would bother me enough that I probably wouldn't work there just for that. And so they may pull through it and be great or whatever. That's a huge risk to take. You drive a new Freightliner and the lights are super bright. The incoming traffic keeps flashing. Yes. Mine had that. They had to re-aim them. They didn't come aimed properly. See if that helps. But they're great. They're the greatest. But they also do not melt snow or ice off of them because they don't have any heat on them. Swift Diamond is better than a PhD, maybe. Yeah, that's what they say. You're way better off getting that than a degree. They sell LED bulbs on Amazon. People put these LED bulbs in there. They're not pointed right. They're super bright and they're all over the place. I'm not a huge fan of that. Because people change their lights out to LED bulbs and they're blue and they're not aimed. I mean, at least if you do that, aim them down at the ground. Because if you just change the bulb without changing the reflector, it puts out a different light pattern because the reflector is made for the bulb that's in it. So you have to change the whole unit out. Don't just change a bulb if you upgrade to LED lights. Wouldn't surprise you, Celadon went out of business. Yeah, I think they might get bought by somebody at worst case. If they went out of business, I mean, it could happen. Arrow went out of business, and it's certainly possible. Could it happen? Yes. But they have a lot of equipment and a lot of business. So it's possible that somebody just buys their assets from them and then the CEOs and that take their money and just go retire somewhere. Diamonds are another symbol of swift representation of the owner. So we love the owner, so we have the diamond. I mean, I love it that there's 2 Swift drivers out there that have not had an accident for a week. I think that is really great for them. Seriously, right. Sell it on stock. Oh, it's $1.95. My video a couple weeks ago, it was in the twos, 2 something, 217, 270, right? So it's down another $1. It's basically a penny stock. It's not worth anything. It's just not worth it. You had them on a Yukon, and if you don't aim them right, you're wasting your money. Yes. Best to take the time. I totally agree. People, you can't just change the bulb without aiming it for the new light pattern that's coming out of it. So please, and everybody sees this every night. Me especially because I drive at night. It's tons of people have changed their lights out, and they're unaimed, not aimed properly, and they blind everybody. And so some people are blinking their brights, and then they turn their brights on that, and that's even worse. That's terrible. Diamond Royal Flush. Oh, Diamond was Swift. Sell it on JB Hunt, Knight Werner. Boy, that'd be something if they all those trucks were parked along together. I wonder if Knight does the same kind of thing because they're the same company. Here at Celadon's getting delisted. I totally agree, Kim. I think because of that, they will be delisted. Yes, they're going to have to go onto the OTC market, over the counter, because they're going to get delisted because their stock has fallen to $2 now is nothing compared to where it was. Swift change or combine his logo. Really? Heard rumors that Swift is going to... Knight already owns Swift, so it's Knight Swift Corp now or whatever it's called. I haven't seen a new logo on a Swift truck other than that diamond. Yeah, it was $250 last week. Yeah, it went way down. It was $30 a year ago. Can you imagine how bright the lights would be if the world wasn't flat? Well, they'd probably need to be less bright because they just go straight off the edge, right? As it turns around. But since it's flat, they can just give a good pattern out in the flatness and light the whole thing up. For sure. CR England has some one load, one child stickers. Oh, really? They have some kind of religious thing about abortion, but that's covenant, right? Maybe for every load that they deliver, they run a kid over. I'm not sure what it means. How about a keto pizza? I don't know. Would that be any good? And I don't know how you put that in your coffee. Will that fit through to Mr. Coffee? You ran convoys in Iraq. Nice, thank you. With the military, of cars in the way, we knocked them off the road with a big steel bumper. With people in them? Or well, they do. Well, I guess you would have to, right? Because you can't risk that they're going to blow you up. So I agree. Get out of the way or get run over. Because if one of them has a bomb in them, you don't want to just sit there, right? If it's going to explode. So I totally agree. That's what you have to do. That's what some people should almost do here at some point with Prime in the left lane. Small carriers and owner-operators make the majority of the money. Yeah, but the large carriers control a lot of the market, but there's thousands of smaller companies. Driving night, how much deer have you hit? 2 a year. About 2 a year I get. When we drove the roads in Afghanistan, people would rather crash getting out of the way than get run over. Yes, they learn. Deer don't learn, but I get about 2 of those a year. 50 cal scares the cars that are the Mark 19. Nice. Right. But you can't risk them exploding you, right? So I totally understand it, right? I agree. And so the Peugeots or whatever they have over there are not going to tolerate it, whatever. I don't know what they're driving there, so they're not going to tolerate that well. When disaster strikes American trucker, yes, they either come to help you or come to feed you. As we know, some people are doing both of those things. For sure. Well, I'm running up on 4:30, so I'm going to get the heck out of here for the Thanksgiving show. But I do thank everybody for coming in today for the Thanksgiving extravaganza and the talk today about everything that we went through. I do want the diamond seriously, so if you have access to one or a way to get one, please email me and we'll get it over here and get it up on the wall. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. So I know there are people that watch that drive at Swift. If you can get one, I'm not sure. Somebody needs to get me one because I don't know how to get one otherwise. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Peterbilt and U-Haul for sticking through here for the show today. Michael, thank you. Trooper Rage. It's great to have everybody in here. I thank everybody for coming in. And that was great for coming in. Evan, thank you for coming in. Hassan, deer jump. Yeah, good. He got out of there. Oh, and hit the deer and it exploded. Oh, ugh, that's the worst. Kay Wayne, thank you for being here. Jesus Florist, right? Mexican trucks come with a tube guard. Everybody should have one. We should all have those. Right, Hassan? We need the tube guards. Wild Bill, destinkify is the word of the day. Monica, thanks for coming in today. Tom Jones, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. 951. And U-Haul, I thank everybody for coming in, and we're going to head on out of here to Thanksgiving here. Crypto Futures, we're going to walk on the flat ground over to the other part of the house. But we'll be back soon with more of these videos, and everybody can write to me. I want everybody to be safe out there and have a good Thanksgiving wherever you are, all right? And I will be back soon with more live videos and more trucking answers, so watch for that. Diesel Trucker, thanks for being here. I'm out of here. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.